wealth conscious. For instance, you've been taught that cash is king. Cash is not king. Cash is actually the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. I'm going to repeat that. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. In your Bank of America savings account, it is only yielding 0.03% interest. If you use the rule of 72, which will tell you how long it'll take you to double your money, 72 divided by 0.03 means that it will take you 2,400 years to double your money in a savings account. What does that mean? You cannot save your way to wealth. You must invest. Not only are you only getting 0.03% interest in your Bank of America savings account, we're also dealing with this other thing called inflation. And inflation is anywhere between 6 and 8%. So when you save money, you're actually losing money. So cash is actually pawn. The only reason we value cash is because it's liquid, because we can use it to get other assets easier than trading an asset for an asset. Trading a piece of real estate for stocks, we got to convert that to cash first, right? So cash is the lowest yielding asset. And until you truly understand that, you're going to be stuck in the rat race, paper chasing. Many of you are paper chasing right now, okay, on the corporate plantation. Did you know that the US dollar is 70? You know that this US dollar is 75%. You know this is 75% cotton, y'all? The US dollar is 75% cotton. Did you know that? You want to know what that means? That means that most of y'all are still on the corporate plantation every single day picking cotton and you didn't even know it. You thought that slavery is over because there's no more shackles and chains anymore? No. Modern day slavery is mental and it is monetary. And many of you are in bondage because of your relationship to money, right? And so we are here through the Black Business School to try to change your relationship to money where you no longer work for money, but money works for you. Slavery didn't go anywhere. It just reinvented itself and it adapted. And you're still on the corporate plantation working and only getting paid, picking cotton for your master and getting paid every 2 weeks, a little ration. How is that any different? And so you have to understand that freedom it's a yay or nay. Freedom is a yay or nay. You're either free or you're not free. You're either free or you are a slave. You're either free, you are, or you're slave. There's no in between, family. There's no like, I'm free-ish. I'm kind of free. No, you're either free or you're not. And right now, I want you to type in chat, are you free or you a slave? Right now, I need you to type that. Based on how you feel about your life and the control you have over your life, even the control you have over next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I know you feel good on the weekend, right? But do you feel free right now or do you feel like you are enslaved? Okay. It's a lot more slaves than freemen, okay? And so that's what we're here to do, is to help you get free, all right? So for those of you who don't know me, you may not have been following me online or anything like that, but I am in the Black Business School. I'm dean of the real estate program here, and my name is Julian Gordon, aka Mr. Multifamily, right? And my purpose is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. No, Harriet Tubman, she freed 300 people by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line over the course of a decade, and she freed 300 people through the Underground Railroad. What I'm guiding you on tonight is what I call the above ground railroad. The above ground railroad, okay? Multifamily real estate is the above ground railroad. It's literally above ground right there in front of your face, and it is a pathway to freedom. It has been, but today I'm going to make sure that you understand it in such a way that you know how to actually take that path and advance along that path. So just so you know who you're talking to in terms of my results, my personal results is I built a $5.2 million real estate portfolio, right? With 38 apartments, also known as units or doors, that generate about $37,000 per month in rents, okay? $37,000 per month in rents, okay? My real estate portfolio returns about 15.9% annually. 15.9%. If you understand the power of compound interest, you realize that that interest rate or return on an investment, cash on cash return is extreme, right? It is very, very good. And to give you some context, does anybody know what the S&P 500 has returned over the past 25 years, over the past 20 years? The S&P 500, which is a major stock market index, over the past 20 years has only had a 4.23% annual rate of return. 4.23%. These are actual numbers. So people can tell you, oh yeah, the stocks grow by 10% every single year. No, it doesn't. These are the actual numbers. From January of 2000 to December of 2019, the S&P 500 has only had a 4.23% average rate of return. Okay, so the asset class that I'm teaching you, which is multifamily real estate, has over a 3 times greater rate of return than the S&P 500 without all the volatility. Because guess what? Multifamily real estate is recession proof. The collective consciousness is talking about recession, recession, recession. You want to know what the most recession proof asset is? It is multifamily real estate. How many of you are taking hits in your stock market portfolio right now? How many are taking hits in your stock market portfolio right now? Many folks, right? Many folks. Hold on, we got to get this person out of here. 1 second. 1 second.
I got it, Julian. You keep
cool.
rolling.
All right, cool. So, all right, we took care of it, family. We took care of it. So many of you took hits in your stock market portfolio, right? Because the stock market is volatile. Multifamily real estate is consistent growth. How many of you had rent increases? How many of you had rent increases in the past 12 months? How many of you had rent increases in the past 12 months? Let me know. And how much was it? How much was your rent increase? Curtis said, everybody. 200, 5%, 300, 300, 100, 200, 600, 100, 200. And what could you do about it? Nothing. What could you do about it? Nothing. There's nothing you could have done, right? And so this is why we have to buy assets like multifamily real estate, which are recession proof. So I want to just show you my portfolio. I want to show you my portfolio. These are the properties that I control at this moment in time. 38 apartments, 15.9% cash on cash return, $1.3 million in appreciation, $37,000 in monthly rents, and $5.2 million in value. All right. Now, I get to the closing table often, right? Multiple times a year. And what inspires me now at this stage in my life where I am a free man, what inspires me more than anything is actually helping other people get to the closing table. So these are some of our students in the Black Business School who have closed on properties all across the country. And we are going to show you exactly how to do the same thing. This is a movement in real life, okay? This is actually 300 of us in Baton Rouge celebrating our 300th closing. Our 300th closing. That's our office in the background. And this is real people, real families being impacted and transformed by this education. Okay. And so to date, we've helped 433 people close on multifamily homes all across the country. Average price around $350,000. That's $151 million worth of real estate that our students have acquired to get annually. They collect about $15 million in rents, and the annual cash flow on that is about $4.6 million that will be in their family's names forever. Okay, so why is this so important right now? Well, we know that the Black home ownership rate is the lowest it's ever been. We're only at 44.2%, right? Whereas our white counterparts are at 74% home ownership rate. So this is the gap that we are seeking to close, because 68% of Americans' wealth is tied up in the equity in their home. Okay, and so the fact that our counterparts are only about $150,000 on average wealthier than we are collectively, that's not a lot. For somebody to have a 400-year head start and us only be $150,000 in average net worth behind, we are not that far behind. We're just a little bit of information and action behind them in order to catch up. Okay, and so land plus property are the key to our freedom. We've seen the minister say it. We have to have land, start buying up our community. The reason Martin Luther King got killed is because he finally got off the sit-in and the nonviolent stuff. And he said, you know what? We need land. You've heard his I have a dream speech, but did you hear his I have a plan speech? Okay. He said at the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through the acts of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West in the Midwest, which meant it was willing to undergird its peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give them land, they built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only did that, they provided country agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Okay. So once Martin Luther King switched over to we need land, all of a sudden became a problem. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that land ownership, property is a problem. Then we do have rappers and some celebrities who are out there trying to shift the culture with their actions, right? And buying up land. We see Rick Ross, we see T.I., right? But a lot of us are still waiting on our 40 acres and a mule. But the reality is that while we do need farmers, Black farmers, and land to farm, the reality is that most of y'all don't even know how to take care of a goldfish. Most of y'all don't even take care of the plants in your house. Plants in your house dying. What you gonna do with 40 acres, right? You can't even take care of the plants in your house and the goldfish that your kids bring home from the carnival. They live for 3 days, right? So what are we going to do with 40 acres, right? So we gotta get 40 apartments. That's the goal, okay? So again, we all know about the Underground Railroad. What I'm here to teach you is the Above Ground Railroad, which is multifamily real estate, okay? Multifamily real estate is the pathway to freedom for you right here and right now. And so the ultimate goal of this webinar is to show you a pathway to get to rent and mortgage freedom. Okay, rent and mortgage freedom. How many of you would love to never have to pay rent again? How many of you would love to never have to pay rent again? Answer should be everybody. How many would like to be paid rent on a monthly basis? All right. So rent and mortgage freedom is a result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Okay, so for most Americans, their housing expense takes up about 35% of their income. So if a family is bringing in $6,000 a month in income, about $2,000 a month is going out towards housing. Okay, so imagine with one single decision, you never, ever have a housing expense for the rest of your life with one single decision, which is to buy multifamily real estate. What would that do for you? How would that change your life if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life? Right? That is what we're here to do. For most of you, it would change everything. It would allow you to walk in your God-given purpose, allow you to spend more time with your family, allow you to travel, allow you to retire early, allow you to invest more. Okay. And so how do I know is because that's what multifamily real estate did for me. And that's what I want for you and your family. Okay. So when I'm talking about multifamily real estate, what am I talking about? I'm specifically talking about 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes. Okay. These are also known as duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes. There are only 2.6 million of them in the entire United States, and they only make up about 18% of the rental supply. So we're looking at a very, very small group of properties, okay? A very rare asset that we're looking at, okay? Now, financing for 2 to 4 family units fall under the same residential guidelines as a single family home. What does that mean? That means that you thought that when you drove by a property, you saw multiple doors, multiple apartments, right? You thought that that property would be more expensive. It'd be harder to get. But it's not. You can actually go to the same lender you go to for a single family home with the same documents, right? The same lender, the same 30-year fixed rate mortgage as a single family for a 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family. Once you get to 5 units or more, that is considered a commercial property, and that's a different lending process. But when we're talking about 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes, it is 100% the same. There is no difference whatsoever, okay? And that's a big aha moment for a lot of people, because you probably thought it was more complex, but it's not, okay? And if you buy a triplex like I did in Brooklyn or a fourplex in the right way, it'll literally change the financial trajectory of your life, and you can achieve rent and mortgage freedom with your first purchase, okay? So back here, my first purchase was this triplex in Brooklyn, New York. I bought it in May of 2013. Since May of 2013, I have not had a housing expense. I've not paid rent. I've not paid principal, interest, taxes, insurance, CapEx, repair reserve, or vacancy rate. All since May of 2013, family. Imagine if you had no housing expense since May of 2013. What would your bank account look like? Dr. Watkins told you to dream earlier. Dream what would your bank account would look like if you didn't have to pay housing, and in fact, your housing was paying you since May of 2013. Okay? So this is the power of what I'm teaching, and I built my portfolio in less than a decade. That's how quickly it can happen, and you can get free that fast. Okay? So I told you that multifamily real estate was recession proof, right? And let me show you why. These gray bars represent the last 2 recessions. What do you notice happens to rents in the middle of a recession, y'all? Well, many of you have experienced it directly. rents go up in the middle of a recession. They go up, right? And so why is that? Is because people who are going to buy hesitate. So they stay renting. And then people who bought wrong in terms of single family homes are now underwater. They get foreclosed on, and now they become renters. So now the demand for rentals goes up, but the supply of rental units has not changed. So when demand goes up, but supply has not changed, what happens to rent? Rents go up. Rents go up. And so this is why multifamily real estate is so powerful. Okay. Now, what happened? What happened to interest rates, right? In an economy, in an economic recession? Well, we see that interest rates are starting to rise, right? And I want you to know that interest rates are not high, family. Interest rates are not high. I know a lot of people have been afraid. Oh, Julian, interest rates are going up. It's going to be harder to buy now and things of that nature. Interest rates are not high. And the reason why I say that is because interest rates have simply gone back to what they were normally. They've returned to their normal rate. Okay. They didn't, you might have missed the 2.65% in what was that? January of 2021. You might have missed that, and that's okay. But the highest interest rate of all time was October of 1981 at 18.63%. 18.63%. So we're nowhere near that. So I don't want you to listen to the fear mongering in the news talking about interest rates are rising. You missed it. No, you haven't missed anything. All right. All that's happened is that interest rates have returned back to normal. Right. And so there's nothing to be afraid of. And this is why you have to know the truth. This is why you have to know the truth. In fact, I'm going to show you right now. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. We are now in the sixes. Okay. We are now in the sixes. The sixes is where interest rates have been literally for the past 25 years. You might have missed this 2.65 down here in the middle of COVID, but we are nowhere near this 18.63 in October of 1981, right? We're not even at a third of that right now. And so interest rates are not high, okay? They are just back to normal, right? Have they risen from 2.65? Yeah, they have risen, but they are not high, okay? So I just want you to be aware of that. Now, before I go forward, I want to ask for your permission. If we give you some great content on this webinar, can we share an opportunity with you all to consider for those of you who are serious about closing on your first multifamily home in 2023? If we have permission to do that at the end, please let us know in chat. Please let us know in chat. And I am going to answer questions at the end, family. I'm going to answer questions live at the end. All right, cool. We appreciate it. Cool. So then let's keep it pushing. Now, for those who stay to the end, we're going to be giving you a list of free down payment assistance programs. I've literally come up with a list of 100, and their book called The Beginner's Real Estate Investor. Let me see, where is it? Here. It's in my, and we're gonna send this out to you. We're gonna send this out to you to the end. The webinar technology, who stays to the end, we're gonna send it out. I'll show you. We organize it by state. 147 down payment assistance programs. Y'all said my mic is.
Yeah, Julie, you're going in and out.
Static
but,
now.
Technology, in and out, internet. That's all good. But can you repeat the last thing you said about the free gifts?
Yeah. So for everybody who stays to the end, no, we do not need your email. Please don't put your email in chat. We already have your email. Okay. The webinar technology will let us know who stays to the end, and we're going to send this out. It's 147 down payment assistance programs. Some of them are $5,000 grants, right? Literally grants that no money out of pocket for you. Some of them, if you take a landlord class, they'll roll your closing costs into the loan for you, and which means less money out of pocket for you. All right. So for those who stay to the end, we're going to be giving this out. This is just our way of saying thank you from the Black Business School. Normally this costs $47, and you're going to get it for absolutely free just for staying to the end. All right. Is that cool? All right. Cool. Beautiful. So on this journey where we start and where I need to start, right? Before we get into the how-tos, we need to address the mental real estate. This is the most important form of real estate that you have right here in between these two temples, right? You know, in the hood, they got temples and churches on every single corner. Well, guess what? the most powerful form of real between this way, right? So I'm going to start there. Steve Biko, basically the Stokely Carmichael of South Africa during apartheid, this is what he said. He said the most potent weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Lawrence, you want me to try to change internet? Lawrence, you want me to try to change internet?
I'll say just keep trying to go for a little bit longer. And then if it messes up again, change it.
Okay, cool. So Stokely Carmichael said the most potent weapon, my favorite quote, the most potent weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Okay. And so we need to address the mind first, because where do we went to, for those of you who went to school, most of you went to oppressor schools. Even if you went to a HBCU, who do you think was funding that curriculum? Okay. Wasn't just Black people. They had hidden agendas, right? So many of us got our curriculum through oppressors. Let's just be real about that, okay? That was liberal arts education, and they taught you their history. They taught you Shakespeare, right? Liberal arts education will cost you, and it has cost you, right? What we're teaching you at the Black Business School is liberation arts education. That's what the Black Business School is all about, liberation arts education. Liberation arts education will free you, right? And I know some of you got burned by liberal arts education, so much so you have student debt still today, and you just don't want to pay for education anymore because you got burned by liberal arts education. But when it comes to liberation, anything that can free you, any piece of information that can free you, you should pay for it without thinking about it. I've invested more money in my liberation arts education than I did in all of my undergraduate education. I spent more money on courses, coaching programs, conferences, etc., to develop myself than I did for undergraduate education. And guess what? There's no student loans. That's money out of my pocket because I am the greatest investment that there is in myself, my self-awareness of who I am, my knowledge of self, and developing my skill sets. All right. So everybody type liberation arts education. Type liberation arts education. Liberation arts education. I know you got burned by liberal arts education. What's liberation arts education? Julian, I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything. And if he does, it is used. All right. So when I first read this sentence, I saw 3 words jump out of me. You want to know what those single words, 3 words were? Single working mom. Single working mom. Now, why that? Because I saw victim consciousness. Now, I'm sure that there are single working moms here right now, and I celebrate you. I'm sure it's not easy being a single working mom, but here's the issue. If I can find 5 single working moms, right, who have closed on multifamily properties, despite that, guess what? Then your excuse is not valid. Then your excuse is not valid. See, when it comes to excuses, family, you're either going to use that excuse to justify where you're at or as motivation motivation. You're going to use it as justification or motivation. The choice is yours. Are you going to use that excuse as justification for why you are where you are or motivation to get where you ultimately want to go? The choice is yours, right? Now, here are some single working moms who have been through our program. This is Robin. She closed on a duplex in New Orleans, single working mom. This is Nicole. She closed on a 4-plex in Chicago, right? Interest rate 3.5%. Original price was $362. She got it for $340, okay? Guess what? Nicole, she's closing on her second property. That moment when your offer gets accepted on property number 2. Let's go. So here we have 2 single moms who are being demonstrations. They use it as motivation. Now, this is not about single working moms, right? What I want everybody to do is I want you to cross out single working mom, and I want you to fill in the blank. How many of you have a crutch, a card, or an excuse that you use whenever the obstacle that's in front of you looks too hard? How many of you have a card, a crutch, or an excuse that you use when the obstacle in front of you looks too big and you just keep pulling it out to justify why you can't get to where you're trying to go? You ain't got a lot to kick it. Just type me. I'm not going to have you type in what it is. You ain't got a lot to kick it. But how many of you have one? Be honest. Oh, my daddy wasn't there when I was growing up. I didn't finish high school. I didn't finish college. I'm divorced. I got fired. I got a mental illness. I got a physical disability. This happened to me when I was 2 years old, and that's why I can't do this when I'm 50. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. At
Hey,
some
Julian.
point, yeah, what's
Hey,
up?
I didn't mean to jump in and interrupt it all, but every now and then the audio does get a little bit, a
All
little
right.
bit
So let me try to
off.
switch over.
Yeah, so I was going to come in just to kind of support you in terms of having you back while if you got to switch over or something like that.
All right. Well, let me switch over right now to try to on my phone. Let me try to switch over to my phone right quick.
Okay. All right. So while Julian does that, I will ask you all, how many of you have had that frustration of hearing people that are always making excuses and always sort of living in the past? You know, I've seen that a lot. There are so many people who I have seen that have a world of potential whose brains are just stuck in like 1992, or this happened to me in 1983. And they don't understand the cancer of the mind that can occur when you don't learn how to move forward. You know, in the Black Business School, we actually created the Black Financial Therapy Department, the first ever of its kind, to get over those sorts of psychological limitations that keep us from building Black wealth. So what Julian's talking about, mindset, is really important. And so I'm going to go ahead and step to the side and let you have the mic back, Julian. But I like where you're going, brother. Please continue.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So listen, you cannot play victim and become a victor at the same time. Those are two different vibrational frequencies. Okay. You cannot be asking for sympathy and achieve success at the same time. They're two different vibrations. At some point, you're going to have to let go of victim if you want to be a victor. You're going to have to let go of asking for sympathy if you ever want to achieve true success. Okay. So at some point, you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go. And my challenge to all of you, whether you decide to buy real estate or not, is whatever that excuse is, that crutch that you've been leaning on, my dare for all of you is to never, ever use it again after this moment. I dare everyone here to never, ever, ever utter that excuse ever again. And that alone will change your life. If you stop using that excuse that you've used so frequently, that alone will change your life. Even if we never saw you again and you did that one thing, your life will be transformed if you never use that excuse again. That is our challenge to all of you. Regardless if you join us, regardless if you go on the above ground railroad and seek to buy real estate, we dare you to just try that one thing. At some point, you're going to have to stop blaming the white man. Power to the people, power to the people. Anytime we march around asking for power to the people, what does that imply? It implies the power is outside of the people and that we have to get it from somewhere else. You want to know what the real chant must be, family? Power in the people, power in the people, power in the people. And we're just saying it to ourselves. We don't need to go march anywhere to say it to somebody else. We can look at each other and say, it's power in the people. It's power in you. Whatever they achieve, we can achieve. Stop asking and begging other people for things that you can do and create for yourself. That's on the spirit of Marcus Messiah Garvey. It's all here for the taking, family. We the firstborn. We're the firstborn. It's time to act like it. Okay? So let's look at the numbers. This woman has been giving $1,200 a month for 9 years to a slumlord, right? When we do the math, that's $129,000. $129,000 that she's given to a slumlord who's probably white, who does not care about her, her family, or our community whatsoever. Okay? Does not care about her, her family, or our community. $130,000 gone to another community. Every single day. Every apartment in that building, same thing, right? How are we going to close the wealth gap when we're giving $129,000 to people who hate us? How, Sway? Okay, so in chat, let me know, how much do you pay in rent? How much are you paying rent or mortgage right now? How much do you pay in rent or mortgage right now? 1700, 1200, 1750, 129, 1900, 1867, 1830, 2250, 1450, 1400, 2200, 1700, 2200, 1550, 1636, 1700, 850, 900, 2900. All right, watch this, y'all. You want to see something? I'm going to math. 1500. Here, it's us on this webinar. $11.2 million. Just us on this webinar right now, $11.2 million in housing expense going out to other communities, to the people who own the banks that you got your mortgages from, and to the people who are your landlords. $11.2 million, just us on this webinar. That's it. So rather than that $11.2 million going out to somebody else, how about we be receiving that instead? What if I could show you how we could be receiving that $11.2 million instead of giving it away to other people? Okay. So we got to start moving different. Now, how many of you all can tell that I'm coming from a place of love? I'm talking tough. It's tough love, but how many of you can tell that I'm coming from a place of love? How many of you can tell that I'm coming from a place of love? I know I'm talking tough because I realize that this talk doesn't work. All right. So I need you to know that, because if you don't understand that, what I'm about to say might trigger you. Okay. Y'all ready? All right. If you are renting, you are homeless. If you are renting, you are homeless. Yeah, technically you don't have a home. You might call it my apartment. You might call it my house, but you're lying. You're lying, family. It's not your apartment. It's not your house. You're not on the title. You're not on the deed. That's Sally's house. That's Tommy's house. And you've been paying rent there. You don't own anything. So stop calling it my house. When you send out invitations for your kids' birthday parties, don't say come over to my house. Say come over to Sally's house, because that's where I pay rent at. I need you to be real honest about your situation right now. Okay? You're not in much of a different boat than this person who's actually sleeping on the bus bench. This person sleeping on the bus bench probably dealt with childhood abuse, drug addiction, right? Mental illness, no family, no friends, no food, no shelter, no money, no job. And here you are with $1,000 computer or phone, right? Here you are with a good head on your shoulders, people who love you. You got a roof over your head, food on the table, all this education, this liberal arts education. So my question to you is, guess what? You're also homeless. That person's on this end of the spectrum, and you're on this end of the spectrum. Guess what? That spectrum is still called homelessness. You're still homeless. You're on different ends of the spectrum of homelessness, but you're still both homeless. So how is it that this homeless man owns as many properties as you do? Zero. Can somebody please explain that to me? You've been working on the corporate plantation for how many years? For how many decades? You went to school for how long and paid how much? How is it that this homeless person owns as many properties as you do? Zero. Somebody please make that make sense. Somebody please explain that to me. How? Okay. So I need all the renters to really sit with that. That's your present reality. You're homeless. You're homeless right now. And it's time for you to get up, get out, and go get something. All right. Now, for those of you who bought single family homes on this webinar, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. Okay. Did you know that the word mortgage literally means death pledge? If you take the prefix mort, as in mortician or mortuary, the word mortgage literally means death pledge. So you signed up for a death pledge. Julian, why is it a death pledge? The reason why is because it's a 30-year death pledge where you die slowly over time. You are working at a job that you hate, and every day you drive to a job that you hate, guess what happened? Your soul is dying. Every day you drive to a job that you hate, your soul is dying. You want to know the easiest way to retain an employee for 30 years? It's to help them get a mortgage. The easiest way to retain an employee on the corporate plantation for 30 years is to help them get a mortgage. And you want to know what's even crazier psychologically? Some of you bought houses to be close to the plantation that you were trying to escape. Some of you bought houses to be close to the plantation that you're trying to escape. Just like master's quarters was there and then the slave quarters are right around. I don't want to be late. I want to get there. If master need me at 3 a.m., I want to be able to get there as quick as possible. So I'm going to buy a house to be close to master because I don't want master to be mad at me if I show up late. I don't want him to crack that whip on me. So you subconsciously bought a house to be close to the plantation that you're trying to escape, as if that plantation was going to be your plantation for the rest of your life. Stop me when I'm lying, y'all. And I see some people say they paid off their mortgage. Okay. Now you have a 30-year-old home, right? You still have property taxes. You still have insurance. And after you have a 30-year-old home, guess what you need on that 30-year-old home? It's called maintenance. It's called maintenance. You never pay off your home. You're always going to have expenses related to your home. This is why grandma had to sell her house, because property taxes kept going up, insurance kept going up, and nobody was investing in the house, so maintenance went up. Now the roof is caving in. Now the electrical doesn't work, and grandma don't got money to pay for it. At no point does a single-family home pay you unless you sell it. I don't care if your mortgage is paid off. Your house is going to cost you for the rest of your life. This is why some of you are house poor. Okay, so HGTV has been lying to you. They say, oh, congratulations, you got the keys. You're a homeowner. You're not a homeowner. You're a home buyer. You're a home buyer. Those are two different things. The truth is that the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. Okay, you thought you were grown and sexy. Look at me. I'm not paying rent anymore. That's a lie. You're not paying rent to a landlord. You're paying rent to the bank to use their money. You want to know what that rent is called? It's called interest. Interest is a form of rent. You're renting money that you didn't have. Interest is rent, y'all. You thought you weren't paying rent anymore? Yeah, you're not paying rent to a slumlord or to a landlord. You're paying rent to the bank to use their money. So the interest on a $300,000 home with a 3.5% down payment and a 6% interest rate, guess what? You're going to pay $358,000 in interest for a $300,000 home. How crazy is that? You're going to pay $358,000 in interest for a $300,000 home. You're going to pay for the home twice. You're going to buy yourself a home and your lender a home. And you want to break that down? That's equivalent to $994 per month in rent that you're still paying. You went from paying $1,500 in rent for a 2-bedroom to now paying $994 per month in rent in the form of interest. And that doesn't even include your private mortgage insurance, your property taxes, and your homeowner's insurance. It doesn't even include those things. And of course, it doesn't include maintenance. So some of you thought you were making a win by going from renting to actually buying a single family home. But guess what? You actually have more money coming out of your pocket every single month due to housing because you bought a single family home. That's what nobody tells you. Oh, but Julian, the home will appreciate. If the home does appreciate, all it is doing is helping you pay the interest. It's not really an upside. All it's doing is helping you pay the interest. Because guess what? Your first mortgage payment is 70% interest. So you make a $2,000 mortgage payment, $1,400 went interest, and only $600 went to principal. Imagine going to the machine and depositing $2,000 and then getting a receipt that said your account only got credited for $600. That's exactly what your first mortgage payment looks like. I'm just trying to give you the facts, family. Nobody tells us the facts, and this is why we make uninformed decisions. Okay? Jenny says, okay, we get the picture. Can you get to the meat? Jenny, this is the meat. Jenny, this is the meat. You see, impatience is why most of you aren't successful. I've been teaching this for 3 years. I've helped 433 people close. Jenny, how are you going to teach me how to teach? I'm the best teacher in the country at this, and you're trying to teach me how to teach. How many properties do you own right now? You're on a webinar to learn from me, and you're trying to teach me how to teach. See, it's our impatience that is causing us to not succeed. You're always looking for the get-rich-quick scheme. You're looking for the fastest path. And how many get rich quick schemes have you chased? This is a long-term game. And you can't stand here for a 90-minute webinar without rushing the teacher, the best teacher in the country, then this is probably not the game for you. You can go find the next get rich quick scheme. And I'm saying this out of love, family. I'm saying this out of love because it's not just her. I know what I'm doing. I'm addressing the mental real estate so that you understand. Because if the mental real estate is prepared, all the how-tos that I give you will not work. If I give you a whole bunch of wealth strategies to a poverty consciousness, they will not take root. Okay? I'm not distracted right now because it was not just Jenny. There's many people who are like, Julian, just get to the how-to. But how many how-to books do you have on your bookshelf that you haven't executed on? How many YouTube videos have you watched that have given you the blueprint, but you didn't execute on? Why? Because there's a mental blockage up here in this real estate, family. This is the meat, but you want to skip to the dessert. This is why most programs don't succeed, because all they focus on is the how-to. And they don't focus on the who you must become. They focus on the how instead of the who. I'm trying to change the who by changing your thinking, knowing that you are a child of God, knowing that abundance is your birthright, knowing that you are the firstborn, knowing that land is God's greatest gift to man, next to life. Why? Because the land was here before life. You know that God created the land before it created life? It must be valuable if it was here first. And once you understand that, then we can go to the how-to. So I'm glad that that came up, because a lot of y'all have been looking for get rich quick schemes. Oh, crypto. Oh, NFTs. Oh, over here. And how are those doing for you, family? How are those get rich quick schemes doing for you? Multi-level marketing. You're impatient. It's that's not a long time, but some of you are so impatient. You can do anything for 10 years. But you want to take anything for 10 years, you want to last for 100 years. Huh? But you want your legacy to last for hundreds of years.
Brother Julian, can you repeat that one more time? You were breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. Take over for me. I guess I'm gonna try to switch back. I'm gonna switch back to the other internet. Take over for me real quick.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm Lawrence Watkins. I am the vice chair, excuse me, of the Black Business School. Yeah. So how's everyone taking to the presentation tonight? What's the number one thing that you learned so far? Yeah.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, boys, you there?
Yep. Oh, so Julian's switching the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he's switching Wi-Fi again. So yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. My wife and I bought some real estate not too long ago, actually during the height of the pandemic, and I think real estate is such an awesome place to put money, because when I think about legacy and wealth, first thing I think about is ownership of real estate and property. And I think that should be a core value that's taught to our children, at every level, so this is really cool stuff. I'm going to stop talking and let Julian kind of do his thing. Julian, you back with us?
Yeah. Thank you everybody for your patience. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet connection, but thank you all for your patience and understanding. We're going to keep on pushing through. Okay. So listen, family, the last thing I said was, how can we you're not willing to commit to something for 10 years, but you want your legacy to last for hundreds of years. That doesn't make any sense, right? You're not willing to commit to a webinar for 90 minutes without rushing the instructor, who's the best teacher of it in the entire country, and you want your legacy to last for hundreds of years. Something's off about that. Something does not add up, okay? So it took me 10 years to build my real estate portfolio to $37,000 a month in rents, 38 doors, etc. I need you to commit to something for any asset class that you choose, right? I need you to commit to it for 10 years. That's how you build wealth, all right? So moving forward, there's only 3 ways to get rid of your housing expense forever, family. Only 3 ways to get rid of your housing expense forever, okay? You wanna know what they are? 1, live in a tent. 2, go to jail, or 3, buy multifamily real estate. Which option are you going to choose? Which option are you going to choose? There's only one option that leaves you with any sort of dignity, and that is number 3. Guess what? You getting a higher paying job does not get rid of your housing expense. And your housing expense is the biggest expense you're going to have in your entire life. It's going to be bigger than taxes, bigger than your student loans, bigger than your kids. Your housing expense, whether it is rent or mortgage, will be the biggest expense in your life. And all we're trying to do is get rid of it forever. All we're trying to do is get rid of your biggest expense forever. I've not paid a housing expense since May of 2013. I have not paid a housing expense for almost a decade, family. Okay? So this is the power of multifamily real estate. So with this one single move, okay, you can stop paying rent forever. You can create passive income streams. You automatically receive tax savings. You acquire tens of thousands of dollars of appreciating assets, and you start building regeneration wealth with one single move. There's no other financial move, one single financial move that is more powerful than this. Okay, so that's why we're focused on this. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Okay, you wanted the meat, let's get into the, okay, that was the meat. Now I'm giving you the sides. All right, so the down payment. Okay, a lot of people don't think they can get in the game because they're like, Julian, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Most 78% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck, right? So most people think that they can't save. And this is a big myth that you need some huge down payment to get in the game. Guess what? You don't. You heard me. You don't. Okay, I'm gonna prove it to you. This is my actual W-2 from 2012. And as you can see, I only made $35,000 in my business in 2012. What year did I buy that property in Brooklyn, New York, family? There we go. Crystal was here. She wasn't on CP time. I bought it in May of 2013. So guess what? This is the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that property. I bought a triplex in Brooklyn, New York with only $35,000 of reported income. So I got started in multifamily real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money in New York City, the most expensive market in the world, while I was an entrepreneur and within 3 years of an economic recession. How many would know how I did that? How many would know how I did that? Okay, let me show you. This is gonna blow your mind. Okay, so get your mind blown emojis ready. Watch this, y'all. This is a pink single family home in New Orleans. And if you have $40,000 in W-2 income, the lender will typically qualify you for about 6 times your W-2 income. Okay, so 6 times $40,000 is $240,000 that you could get approved for, pre-approved for this pink single family home. Okay, here's what many of you did not know: multifamily real estate is financed differently. Okay, this is a pink fourplex that I actually own in New Orleans. Okay, watch this. The lender will give you credit today for 75% of the annual rent that you're going to get once you close, and they will add it to your W-2 income today. You heard me correctly. The lender will give you credit for 75% of the annual rent you're going to collect in the upcoming year once you close, and add it to your W-2 income today and qualify you based on that number. So I'm going to walk you through the numbers. So let's say that this property brings in $1,000 a month per door. So that's $4,000 a month in rent, okay? Times 75%, that's $3,000. $3,000 times 12 months, $30,000. So now you have your W-2 income of $40,000. They add in the $36,000 of rent, and they qualify you based on $76,000. You haven't even closed on the property yet. Now, 76 times 6 is $456,000. So literally, you're able to buy almost twice as much real estate because you bought a multifamily home than you buying a single family home. This is what many of you did not know. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? When they are analyzing the property, they know that you're going to be gaining income from this property. So they take 75% of the rents that you're going to get, and they add that to your W-2 income today, and they qualify you based on that number. So you're able to buy almost twice as much real estate with the same W-2 income because you bought multifamily as opposed to single family. This is the power of multifamily real estate. This is the power of multifamily real estate. This is what many of you did not know. And this should change the game for you. Because now you know that you can actually get approved for more real estate by buying multifamily than by buying single family. Okay? So, also, did you know that there are no money down programs out there? A lot of you were worried about making the down payment. Did you know that there are no money down programs out there? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration whatsoever. See, your intellectual property, what you know, is preventing you from getting physical property. You don't have enough intellectual property. That's why you have no physical property. Okay? We're trying to give you the intellectual property that you need to know to buy physical property. This program is called NACA, NACA.com, NACA.com. Okay? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration, and below market 30-year and 15-year fixed rates. NACA.com. This is Gloria. And as you can see, Gloria bought her first property through NACA. Watch this. I closed on my first triplex July 1st in Philadelphia through NACA. I was approved for 480 with 1.5% interest, asking price 520, offered 510, seller paid 2% closing costs for me to close on the property, and I walked away only paying for title fees. I'm still in disbelief. Do you all know how much title fees are? Title fees are only $300 to $600. She bought a triplex in Philadelphia for $300 to $600. That's it. So y'all have been out here this entire time thinking, oh, I can't save up for a down payment. And Gloria just got a property for $300 to $600. Some of y'all blew that this past weekend at Target. You want to know where your down payment is, y'all? It's in your closet. Some of y'all got clothes in your closet with tags on it that you haven't even worn. Shoes that you've only worn twice. Designer brands. Fake purses. Your down payment is literally in your clothing closet. But for some reason, those clothes are more important to you than actually owning the closet. If I looked at your bank account statement from this past weekend, some of y'all went out, you got your hair done, your nails done, your makeup done, you got a whole new outfit, right? You took an Uber, you went to did some hookah, then you went to got some appetizers, then you had dinner, then you had dessert, right? Then you went to another spot, had some alcohol, then you took an Uber home. Some of y'all blew $300 to $600 this past weekend. You living your best life though, but you broke. Living my best life. You post that on Instagram. Post your balance sheet on Instagram. How about you do that? Post your balance sheet on Instagram. Let's see. Oh, but Julian, you only live once. Okay. If you only live once, then know that you will not leave a legacy. There'll be no legacy to leave. They'll be doing a GoFundMe for your funeral. I'm just keeping it real with you. So what I'm literally saying is that your down payment is right around you. Go sell some stuff in your house right now and prepare. If you're really serious about this, you should go get some boxes this weekend and start packing. You need to train your subconscious mind that, oh, we're not renewing this lease. So we're going to start packing right now because we're not renewing this lease. I'm getting rid of stuff. I'm selling stuff to save up for my down payment. And I'm packing things right now to get ready to move. Because if you follow this blueprint, some of you will have closed on your first multifamily home within 90 days. If you literally lock in and follow me on the Above Ground Railroad, right? So your next option is the government's FHA program. The government's FHA program is only 3.5% down. So on a $300,000 property, that's only $10,500 down, right? With the government's FHA program. So that's a great program that you can consider as well. They do have a 1-year living requirement as an owner. So you have to live there for 1 year before you could move on to the next property. So answer me this. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000, okay, in 30 to 45 days, have that business immediately cash flow within 30 days, and succeed with minimal time, effort, and experience? Please let me know. Please let me know in chat. There are none, family. There are none. except for multifamily real estate. This is why this has to be the first asset in your family's name, period. Okay. So let's look at the monthly payment, right? The monthly payment, right? Rents are skyrocketing all throughout the country. You see San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, Los Angeles, San Diego, Scottsdale, Arizona, Chicago. A lot of you live in these cities, right? So if we could literally just get rid of your housing expense, what would that do for you over time? So a lot of you think that, oh, Julian, I can't pay a mortgage, right? Well, the reality is if you're paying rent, you're already paying the mortgage. It's just not yours. If you are paying rent, you are already paying a mortgage. It's just not yours. That's the problem. That's the problem. Now, if you don't want to pay a mortgage or rent, then you can simply own a multifamily home and have other people pay you. Why? Because you're providing them a service, which is quality, affordable housing. And it is the most important service that anybody can have. Because when you think about what are people's alternative to paying for housing? What is the reason that you didn't leave when they increased rents on you? Because your next option is to live in your car, live in your tent, or live in your mom's basement. And those aren't great options. So you are providing one of the most essential services in the world by providing quality, affordable housing for other people. Okay? I don't want my tenants to rent from me forever, right? I would love the story of one of my tenants actually becoming a multifamily homeowner. That would be an amazing story. But people will always need to rent. Why? Because they're going through credit issues. 2, they don't understand this information. They're having difficulty saving, right? They just moved from a different city, right? They just got divorced and they're restarting. People are downsizing. People are just starting their careers and they don't have enough track record to get finance, right? Like a college student who just graduated. There will always be a need for people to rent, okay? So renters are always going to be here no matter what, okay? So let's look at the multifamily map. So this is going to be another breakthrough moment for you, right? This is going to be another breakthrough moment for you because the American dream says, go get your single family home, your dream home right away. You got married, go get your dream home. And let me show you the problem with that. If you use the government's FHA loan for your first single family home, you put 3.5% down on a $100,000 home, that's $3,500, okay? And I'm just using these numbers for easy math, okay? We know that single family homes typically cost more than that, okay? But little did you know is that if you try to buy an investment property afterwards and you are not going to live in that investment property, then 25% down, you'll have to put 25% down on that investment property, not 3.5% down, okay? So 25% down on a $300,000 triplex will be $75,000. So you add up those 2 down payments, right? And guess what? That's $78,000 in down payments. $78,000 in down payments. Y'all want to get your mind blown emojis ready. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. These little nuggets change the financial trajectory of your life. This one slide is going to save you 5 to 10 years in your real estate journey. Are you ready? What if all we do is change the sequence? Watch what happens. You put 3.5% down on your multifamily first. 3.5% down on $300,000 is only $10,500. Then you live there for 1 year, which is the FHA requirement. Then you go buy your single family home and you put 25% down on it at $100,000. That's $25,000. You add up those 2, that's only $35,000 in down payment. So literally, you just acquired the same 2 properties for less than half the amount of money, all because of this one slide. That's a $43,000 difference. That's literally going to save some of you 5 to 10 years on your real estate journey. How long would it take you to save up an additional $43,000? That's going to take some of y'all 5 to 10 years, all because you know this piece of information. Buy the multifamily first. Then go buy my single family and let the multifamily pay for my single family. But the American dream, which is really the American nightmare, it teaches you to go this path. And this is how a lot of people end up stuck. The reason they call it the American dream is because they had to rock you to sleep to get you to believe it, family. It is all a trap. Everything they tell you to do in the American dream is a trap. Go to college, you end up with student debt. Go get a high-paying job, you end up with the most taxes. Go get a single-family home, you end up house poor. Everything they tell you to do in the American dream keeps you trapped. So we got to do the exact opposite. All right. Now, where are all my single family buyers? If you're my single family buyers and you feel you messed up, type messed up. If you're a single family buyer and you feel you messed up, type messed up. I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this to show all the renters that are here. Okay, renters, are you seeing this? You have single family buyers who are honestly saying, don't follow in my footsteps. Okay. Now, for all my single family buyers, type 625. Type 625. The reason I'm having you type that because there's 6 ways to use there's 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. Only 2 of them require you to sell, and there's 5 ways to use FHA twice. So you are not stuck unless you choose to be. You are not stuck unless you choose to be. Okay? So single family buyers, we can use the equity that is in your home, right, to still build your real estate portfolio. Or we can sell that home if you don't have any emotional attachment to it. We can take that equity and we can start over. And we can say, thank you to this single family home for blessing my family for this period of time. We're going to now take this upside and we're going to go start our real estate portfolio in the right way. You have options. Okay. So my single family buyers, you're not stuck unless you choose to be. So for my renters, here's the game plan. Right now you're renting, you're paying $1,000 a month in rent to a landlord. That landlord collects that $3,000. They pay their $1,500 a month mortgage to the bank, and they take the other $1,500 and they use it for their lifestyle or for their single family. Now you want to do exactly what I did, and you want to buy a triplex, right? You buy that triplex, you collect rent from the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor, right? That's $2,000 in your pocket. But guess what? You're also no longer paying rent anymore. So that's actually $3,000 in your pocket. You take that $3,000 and you're living for free. So now you take that $3,000, you pay your $1,500 mortgage, right? And now you're living for free and you have $1,500 in cash flow, right? You still want your dream home, right? Your detached single family home. You live here for 1 year, which is the FHA requirement. Then you go buy your single family. Now you're collecting $3,000 a month in rent from this property, plus $1,000 a month from no longer paying rent. So that's $4,000. You take that $4,000, you pay your $1,500 mortgage over here. You pay your $1,500 mortgage over here. Now you have 2 properties, a triplex and a single family. You're living for free and you have $1,000 in cash flow. And all of this happened in 15 months. You got this property within 3 months after following me on the above ground railroad. And then you bought this property a year later after fulfilling the 1-year living requirement. And within 15 months, the financial trajectory of your life has transformed forever. Just like that. This is the power of this knowledge, of this game, of liberation arts education. Okay. Imagine being enslaved in Maryland, just below the Mason-Dixon line. Okay. I'm actually in DC right now. And so imagine being enslaved in Maryland, just below the Mason-Dixon line. And because you didn't know it was right there, you just kept picking cotton. And so 40 years later, you're in your deathbed and somebody taps you on your shoulder and says, hey, guess what I just found out today? I found out that the Mason-Dixon line is right there on the horizon by that tall tree. Like the Mason-Dixon line was literally right there by that tall tree the entire time. But because you didn't know it, you never ran for it. So you kept picking cotton, all because you didn't know, right? And now you're mad because it was right there. It was literally in your eyesight the entire time, but you couldn't see it. You didn't know it. And so you just stayed enslaved. Well, I'm here to tap you on your shoulder and let you know that guess what? The Mason-Dixon line to rent and mortgage freedom is literally less than 90 days away for some of you who are here. Why? Because I've had students who have closed on their first property within less than 90 days. I've had students who close on their first property within less than 90 days. That's how powerful this information is when you actually implement it and you move quickly, okay? And you move quickly. So for those of you who are ready, you'll have that opportunity, okay? This is Sparkle. She closed on her first 4th family in Florida in less than 3 months. This is Taisha. She closed on a 4th family in Baton Rouge in less than 3 months. This is Brian, closed on a 4-plex in New Orleans in less than 3 months. The knowledge is there. The question is, will you consume it? And then will you take action on it? Okay. So when it comes to real estate, we have to retrain your eyes because everything you've been taught about real estate is wrong. Okay. Because you've been watching HGTV, right? And I'm going to do this little test with you right now to see how you think about it. So here are three properties next door to each other. Property A, B, and C. Which property is the most valuable? Please let me know in chat. Which property is the most valuable? A. A lot of people saying A. C, B. So I'm seeing like 50% A, 25% C's, and 25% B. Okay. 75% of y'all failed this test. Property A, which is the rehab, the price was $221,000. The equity, it appraised at 242. So the equity is $21,000 and the rents are $2,400, $1,200 per unit. Okay. The new construction, you can see it only has one door. So this is a single family home. It was priced at $330,000. Okay. So it has no equity and it collects no rents. This property over here, the ugliest one, is $180,000. Because of the value of this property and this property, it actually has $69,000 worth of equity in it. And the rents are $3,200. It's actually a triplex. It has a door here, a unit here, and then a unit on the side that you can't see, unfortunately. So which property do you think I own, family? Which property do you think I own? I own C. I own the ugliest property on the fastest developing block. I didn't say which property was the most beautiful, y'all. That's where some of you got mistaken. I didn't say which property was the most beautiful or which property was the newest. I said which property was the most valuable. And the most valuable property in this picture is actually property C. Okay. So you have to retrain your eyes from HGTV. Okay. I call all of this HGTV foolishness. Your first investment property won't look like anything that you've seen on HGTV. Your first fourplex will not look like this, family. I'm sorry. When people in my program, I tell them they cannot watch HGTV. They can only watch JGTV. They cannot watch HGTV. They can only watch JGTV. You watching shows like The Property Brothers. I say, screw The Property Brothers. I'm your new property brother with an A. And I'm going to keep it real with you about real estate. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. Some of you are so fixated on all these buzzwords from HGTV. Oh, look at these granite countertops. Look at these stainless steel appliances. You realize that granite countertops only cost $1,500 with the undermount sink? Why would you make a $400,000 purchasing decision based on a $1,500 countertop? Why would you make a $400,000 purchasing decision based on a $1,500 stainless steel refrigerator, a detachable appliance? Are you serious, family? See, this is why HGTV is teaching you to look at the wrong things, and this is why you cannot watch that anymore. It is teaching you the wrong things about real estate. It is teaching you the American nightmare. This is how people get stuck, as opposed to the American dream, which is where people are free. Okay? So here's my first home. This is the triplex in Brooklyn, New York. My first home was not my dream home, but it made my dreams possible. A lot of you have been taught to go after your dream home right away. No, my first home was not my dream home, but it made my dreams possible. Look at my kitchen. No granite countertops, no stainless steel appliances, no white shaker cabinets with gold knobs, no backsplash, no gentrification grade paint, just a plain old kitchen with the basic stuff from Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay? If I would have went into this property with HGTV eyes, I would have walked out and said, hey, that doesn't look like HGTV. I don't want it. But I saw this property for what it was, a triplex in Brooklyn, New York, in Bed-Stuy, an up-and-coming neighborhood. Okay? And as a result, this property is appreciated by over $400,000 since I acquired it. Because I saw what was happening in the neighborhood, not because of what HGTV was telling me to do. Okay? So you need to make a decision. Are you going to be a single-family HGTV buyer that's looking for granite countertops? Or are you going to be a multifamily investor that's looking for guaranteed cash flow? You're going to be a single-family HGTV buyer that buys based on emotions? Or are you going to be a multifamily real estate investor that buys based on economics? Are you going to be looking for your dream home? Are you going to be looking for an asset that will pay for your dream home? You're going to be looking for a finished basement? Or are you going to be looking to start building wealth? You decide which side of the equation you're going to be on. If you rock with me on the multifamily investing side of the equation for just a little bit of time, guess what? We can get your dream home free and clear. I own my single family home free and clear. I own my single family home free and clear. Why? Because of my multifamily real estate portfolio. They bought and paid for my single family home. What's beautiful about it is I provide quality, affordable housing to about 70 people. And you want to know how God blesses me? By providing me with quality, amazing housing. The blesser gets blessed. I bless people who can't afford to buy their own home yet. I could have just focused on me and said, this is all about me getting my home. But instead, you give that what you desire to other people, and guess what happens to you? You get yours back, and you get yours in a beautiful way. This is the cycle of reciprocity, okay? So let's get into finding the deal, okay? Finding the deal. We're not looking for listings. We're looking for deals. Those are two different things, okay? Listings are those things that real estate agents send you via email every single day. We're not looking for listings. We're looking for real estate deals. And guess what? We don't find them on websites. Truly and Zillow are where multifamily real estate deals go to die, right? Mass market listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. What are off-market deals? Off-market deals are deals that come through relationships, through your real estate Rolodex, through your relationship with multiple real estate agents, with wholesalers, contractors, lenders, property owners, family and friends, right? In New Orleans, I have 3 real estate agents, family. You were taught to only have one real estate agent. And when you have one real estate agent, what if they only know the south side of the city? Then you're missing out on all the opportunities in the other parts of the city. So I have real estate agents that cover the entire city, and whoever brings me the deal, that's who eats. I don't sign exclusive agreements with a real estate agent. That limits my search. So you have to know how to speak to a real estate agent in a way that stands in your power so that you can actually build relationships with multiple agents and get the maximum amount of deals coming to you rather than being limited by the deal flow of one single agent. My last agent, my last 8 deals never hit a website, family. My last deals never hit a website because they were off-market deals. That's how I got the best deals. All right. So are you understanding that we're not looking for real estate listings? We're looking for real estate deals. Those are two different things. So when I get deals, right, I get deals coming to me in many different ways, right? I get them coming through my text messages, social media, email, right? Facebook, off-market deals coming to me every single day, right? And I evaluate those deals quickly, right? I evaluate those deals quickly and I run the numbers. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. So this is one of my students. Gabrielle said, Ronique, congratulations. Did you find this deal on Zillow? He said, no, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler, right? This is how we found the deal, off-market deal, okay? So here's what I need you to know. This is going to blow some of your minds, y'all. You don't need just a real estate agent. You need a real estate advisor. Here's why. Did you know that most real estate agents don't even own any real estate, family? You're giving over the biggest financial decision of your life to a real estate agent who doesn't even own what you're buying. They've been licensed to transact real estate, but many of them don't even own any real estate. Did y'all hear that? Many real estate agents don't even own any real estate. So you think that just because they got this license that they have mastered the game. No, they haven't. In fact, what I'm teaching you right now is putting you above many real estate agents. Just off of this webinar alone, you are learning more than what most agents. This is not on the real estate licensing exam. Do you know that cash on cash return, the most important number in multifamily real estate investing, is not on the real estate exam? So a real estate agent can't really tell you what a deal is or not. Because if you ask your real estate agent, okay, what's the cash on cash return on that duplex? They'll be like, huh? They won't know because it's not on the real estate exam, family. So why would you give over the biggest financial decision over your life, of your life, to a real estate agent who does not have the wealth that you desire? I only work with real estate agents who have multi-family real estate themselves, right? Or who know how to calculate cash on cash return. I don't work with somebody who just got your cousin who got their real estate license yesterday. That's not who I'm working with. So you have to understand the game, right? And one of the key aspects is learning how to calculate cash on cash return. How do I do that? I do that with the purchase or pass deal analyzer. That's what you're looking at right here. This is the financial model that I've developed that I use to evaluate every single deal that I do. Okay. I know what the 23 numbers are. I know where to find them. I know how to find them quickly, and I understand how they impact the deal. Once I plug them into the purchase or pass deal analyzer, it tells me what the cash on cash return is. I told you that my real estate portfolio is performing at 15.9% cash on cash return. That's how quickly my money is multiplying. All right. And so you need to know what these 23 numbers are. If you leave out one single number, you could literally step into a bad deal. If you don't verify one single number, you could step into a bad deal. Okay. So I run the numbers in 10 minutes. I text my agent the price that worked for me, and I have a purchase agreement signed within 30 minutes. Some of y'all are out here on Truly and Zillow. You're over here hearting stuff and putting stuff in your favorites folder. Like, ooh, I just love this open concept. I love that they put the sink in the second island so that I can wash dishes and be looking at the family at the same time. I love the furniture that they use to stage it. If I bought this home, I would see if I could buy the furniture too. And the backyard is just so spacious. We can have birthdays out there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Talking about, I'm going to come back to this next week. I'm going to come back to this in a couple of days when I'm not so busy. And when you come back to it, what's under it? Pending, under contract, because you moved too slow. You moved too slow. My offer was in 30 minutes, and you're talking about, I'm going to come back to this in a few days. This is why you don't have any real estate, because you don't know how to play the game. So rather than blaming cash investors and hedge funds and other people, say, I don't know how to play the game, so I keep getting beat. I don't know how to play the game, so I keep getting beat. I don't know how to play the game, so I keep getting beat. If I want to win, I need to learn how to play the game. If I want to win, I need to learn how to play the game. If I want to win, I need to learn how to play the game. You aren't just getting beat out by this random neighbor down the street. That's not who's beating you out for these deals. You're getting beat out by somebody who's more sophisticated than you, who understands the game better than you do. That's point blank, period. So if you want to play this game at a high level, you need to learn the game. This is not just like buying a car at CarMax. This is different than that. There are more advanced strategies when it comes to buying real estate than buying a car. So some of those ways include under having the 4 eyes of real estate. One, you need to have eyes for the market. Having eyes for the market means you go into a market, right, which is a city or a neighborhood, and a city, right, and you say, is this market expanding or contracting? What data is going to support you to help you know if that market is expanding or contracting, okay? And then you need to have eyes for the neighborhood. I've identified 33 signs of gentrification. 33 signs of gentrification, okay? When I bought in Brooklyn, I bought in a neighborhood called Do or Die Bed-Stuy. Yeah, the neighborhood literally had the word die in the name, okay? But guess what? It had 10 to 15 signs of gentrification, and I saw it moving towards 33, okay? I saw the wave coming from Manhattan to Dumbo. Jay-Z said I could have bought a building in Dumbo for like $2 million. Today's worth like $25 million. Guess how I'm feeling, right? And then I saw that wave coming from Dumbo to Fort Greene to Clinton Hill to Stuyvesant Heights to Bed-Stuy. And so I bought in Bed-Stuy before the wave came, and now it's come all the way through Bed-Stuy, and now it's all the way out in East New York towards JFK, okay? So now Bed-Stuy has 30 signs of gentrification, and guess what happened to my property value? It went up, okay? So I need you to be able to take me on a helicopter ride of your city, your market, and be able to show me where those neighborhoods are and be able to point out the 33 signs of gentrification, right? Then having eyes for the property, right? In our multifamily movement real estate investor workbook, I think it's getting blurred out because of the Zoom camera. In here, I have a tool called the property value assessment, right? And there are 40 signs of hidden value and 30 signs of hidden costs. So when I go into a property, I know these all mentally, right? So I can just walk through a property and do this in my head, but I've listed it all out here for you, right? So that you can literally just go through the property and check these things off. You see an unfinished basement. You see an attic that has a separate entrance, right? You see parking spaces. You see laundry. All of those are potential hidden value that was not in the actual listing, which makes that listing more valuable to you. There's also hidden costs. You see slanted floors. You see termites, right? You smell animal from dogs living there, etc. Those are hidden costs, right? They're going to cost you down the line. So these are the things that you actually have to look for. We're not looking for granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. Okay. So these are the things you have to look for. Then finally, you have to have eyes for the deal. There's typically 3 ways to structure any real estate deal. You have to know which one is best for you. Okay. So Assets over liabilities. Assets over liabilities. What is an asset? Okay, according to Robert Kiyosaki, an asset has value, produces income or appreciates, and has a ready market. Assets put money in your pocket. Okay, so again, at no point does a single family home put money in your pocket unless you sell it. Okay, so we're looking for cash flowing assets that provide cash flow and appreciate, and multifamily fits that. So, in order to be financially free, your passive income has to be greater than your cost of living. Your passive income has to be greater than your cost of living. Right now, most of you have no passive income. You only have active income right now. Okay, you only have active income, and with each door, with each apartment that you acquire, that is a stream of passive income. And ultimately, what do you want? You have 15 expenses, including your childcare, your car note, your car insurance, your rent, or you have your insurances, et cetera, technology bills and things of that nature. 15 expenses, but you only have one stream of income. So ultimately, what you want is you want 15 streams of income to pay for those 15 expenses. That's when you've achieved financial freedom. Okay. So we need to increase your passive income, right? So if I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 in cash every single month guaranteed, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? If I told you I found an ATM machine that would pay you $1,090 a month, okay? All you have to do is pay $10,500 right now in order to acquire it. Would you give up or go get the money? Please let me know in chat. Would you give up or go get the money? Wisdom, perfect name, says go get the money, right? The rest of y'all, you too late. You move too slow. Wisdom, which is perfect name for the purpose of this. Wisdom move fastest. There was only one ATM machine, y'all. The rest of y'all, you too late. Wisdom got the contract. Once somebody else has the contract, there's nothing you can do. You have no power once somebody else has the contract. Wisdom said, I'll go get the money first. So Wisdom got the contract. This is why many of you are losing out on real estate deals, because you don't move quick enough, because you don't know how to run the numbers. Okay. So let me show you the equation for cash on cash return. Okay. Cash on cash return is the annual income divided by the initial investment. So in the case of this ATM machine, it's $1,090 times 12 months divided by $10,500, excuse me, right? And so the cash on cash return is actually 125%, 125%. What did I say the S&P 500 was returning, y'all? What did I say the S&P 500 was returning? About 4.23%. So all of y'all, because you were too slow and didn't know what you were doing, have to go put your money back into the S&P 500 at 4% instead of yielding 125% that Wisdom is going to get. All because you didn't have the confidence and didn't move fast enough. Okay. So this is the power of understanding this particular asset class. Okay. And so Wisdom closed on the deal. Now, let me put this in real life for you. This is the real ATM machine, family. Our multifamily homes are ATM machines. You've been driving by ATM machines every single day on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, on your way to your kid's school. Because look at this, $300,000, 3.5% down is $10,500, the same as the ATM machine. The rents on this property are $3,200 a month. The mortgage is $1,259. The taxes and insurance are $335. The capex, repairs, and vacancy rate are $515. So that leaves me with cash flow of $1,090 every single month, like clockwork. This is the ATM machine, actually, family. And I'll show you the rent check. We're collecting rent from this property since 2020. Okay, $1,600 per unit. It doesn't look like $1 million home, but I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so this is what buying assets that Dr. Watkins talked about looks like. This is what it means to buy assets. So I want to leave you with something, which is this terminology about buying right. Buying right, okay? So buying right is 3 criteria. 1, there's built-in equity. 2, there's at least a 12% cash on cash return. And 3, there's definite appreciation potential. So I'm going to give you an example of a property that I bought in Oakland, California, okay? My hometown. So got under contract on this property for $180,000. This duplex in Oakland, California. while under contract, it appraised at $505,000. So one, built-in equity. I'm already up $25,000 out the gates. So I bought right. Okay. We know that the Bay Area rents are strong. So I'm definitely getting a great cash on cash return on this property. And then 27 months later, when I went to refinance the property, guess what? It appraised at $710,000. So I was literally up $230,000 on this property in 27 months with no major repairs. This is what it means to buy right. This is the power of multifamily real estate investing when you buy right. I don't just want you to go out there and buy anything because that's how you'll make mistakes, okay? I want you to know what it means to buy right, how to run the numbers, how to make offers quickly, to get deals, to lock in your spot, right? And then ultimately how to win and make that piece of property perform, all right? So why this, why now? If you wait to get started in multifamily real estate, what's going to happen? Rents are going to keep on rising, family, and there's going to be nothing that you can do about it. Right now, rents take up about 35% of your income. It's going to move to 40 and 45 and 50. And half of your paycheck will be going to rent. Okay? And it's going to rise too high for you to be able to save for your own home. And then prices of real estate will continue to rise, which then makes it harder for you to ultimately buy. And there will come a point soon, family, where you may never, ever own real estate. Especially as these hedge funds come in and start buying up the single family home. There's going to come a point where you never can own real estate. It'll be impossible because once they get bundled up in those hedge funds, they're never coming back to the individual market. So this is why this is so urgent, okay? Chinua Achebe, he said it best. One of the most valuable pieces of thing on earth is a piece of earth, family. When the missionaries came to Africa, they had the Bible and we had the land. They said, let us pray. We closed our eyes and we bowed our heads. And when we opened them, we had the Bible and they had the land. There's a growing gap between the rich and the poor. And that gap is getting wider and wider and wider. And the question is are you going to be on the right side of history or not? Not just you, is your family name going to be on the right side of history or not? The choice is yours. The gap is not so great right now that you can't make it happen. But if you continue to let it widen, it's going to be harder and harder and harder for every generation that comes after you. Right now, many of you, for your perception of $1 million home looks like this. This is what you think of when you think of $1 million home. But what I want you to see and what I need you to understand is that this is $1 million home. It may not look like it, does not look like this whatsoever, but watch this. Over the next 30 years, this home will be worth over $1 million to my last name. The cash flow on this property will be $638,000. Money in my pocket. The tax savings will be $278,000. Taxes that I do not pay to the government because of all the write-offs associated with this property. The principal pay down will be $225,000 by the tenants. And the appreciation on this property at 1% per year would be $104,000. Together, this one single property will pay me lead to a $1.2 million shift in net worth for my last name. When you look at it with your eyes, your HGTV eyes, it does not look like $1 million property. But when you truly understand multifamily real estate, you realize that it is. Okay? So everybody's out here talking about secure the bag. Here's how you do that. You do that by securing a building. And then that will secure your housing. It will secure your retirement. And it will secure your legacy. All right? So I want to say thank you. Earlier, you gave me permission that if this webinar rocked, we could share an opportunity with you all to consider. If we still have the green light to share that opportunity, please let us know in chat. We've been here for an hour and 45 minutes. I know we had some technical difficulties, but you are all still here. Like none of y'all left. So I think y'all were getting something from it. How many bullet points do you have? How many bullet points do you have in your notes? Many. Thank you for bearing with me with my cough. It's been a seasonal thing for me, but I'm not going to affirm that. All right, cool. So can we share this opportunity? Because we're actually only looking for about 50 people right now. We're almost at 450 closings, and we're trying to get to 500, and we're looking for the next 50 people. to join us. So can I share that opportunity with you? All right, so there is a limit, all right? So there's many ways to get started in real estate investing, from tax liens to wholesaling to fix and flip to Airbnbs. Obviously, based on what I've demonstrated, I can do a deep dive with you here in multifamily real estate, right? This is my expertise. I'm the best in the country at teaching this and doing it, okay? For those of you who came in late, this is my actual real estate portfolio. These are the properties that I control all over the country. And so I do this in real life, and I want to show you how to do the same. So Dr. Watkins and I, we put together a program for you called the Black Real Estate Investors Group. And it includes the multifamily master plan, which is our core curriculum on how to download everything that I just taught you and a lot more as quickly as possible so that you can start making offers before as we enter into January. And we want you to close definitely within 2023. We do not want you to renew your lease. Okay. Everybody type refuse to renew. Everybody, please type refuse to renew. We are not renewing any leases, family. This is your last Christmas. This is your last New Year's in this apartment. You heard me? This is your last Christmas and your last New Year's in this apartment. You will not be here again. So once you pull out that Christmas tree, pack it up for good, because it will be in a new home. We're not doing this again. This is not Groundhog Day, okay? This is Get Free Day, all right? So as I said before, whatever excuse you've had that has kept you out of the game, I have a way through it, around it, or over it. You think you have low income or bad credit? I showed you the NACA program. The NACA does not care about your credit. The way NACA finances, they say, how much you've been paying in rent? You've been paying on time? Great. Show me for the past 3 months. You see $1,500, $1,500, $1,500. Then they said, oh, how much were you able to save on top of that? I was able to save $300 on top of that. So 1,500 plus 300 equals 1,800. NACA will finance you based on that. They care less about your credit. So if you have low income or bad credit, NACA is going to be your pathway. Okay. For those of you who already bought a single family home, I told you to type in 625 earlier. Why? Because many people have come to our program and they had single family homes. Some used the equity, right? Like Michelle. Some ended up selling, like Chantel. Okay. So there's a specific module for you in the course, in the special situation section, that will guide you through the 6 strategies, right? And the 5 ways to use FHA twice so that you can get another low down payment assistance program, okay? You live in an expensive market, this methodology works everywhere. This is Fernando, him and his family, they closed on this property in Los Angeles. They turned it into a group home. Darren and Aisha, they bought this triplex in Providence, Rhode Island. James closed on this 3-family in Roxbury neighborhood of Boston. Velveeta closed on this 4-plex in Los Angeles. Natasha closed on this triplex in the Bronx. Dwight and Rhonda closed on a duplex in Napa. And then Misha also closed on a 4-plex in Los Angeles. So this methodology works all over the country. The Pettigrews, they also closed on a triplex in Cypress Hill, Brooklyn, New York. Okay, so this methodology works even in expensive markets. For those of you who are veterans, thank you for your service. You have access to one of the best loans in America, which is the VA loan. And yes, you can use it for multifamily and you can use it twice, family. So this is Demetrius, one of our youngest students. He closed at the age of 26 on this 4-plex in Killeen, Texas, which I think is a military town. Terrence closed on a 4-plex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Gary bought a triplex in 6 months. Alan bought this triplex in Baltimore. This is what Alan had to say. Hello, Julian. I want to just thank you for the great service you provide. I learned a great deal from your detailed instruction for the past 3 months during the pandemic, and I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17/20. The property cash flows and is in an appreciating market with built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle the deal like such a boss without the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had the answers to the test every step along the way. Thanks again, brother, for the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. So what's beautiful about Alan's story is that he went on to propose to his significant other on the 3rd floor of that property. They got married, gave birth to a love child, and he said something very key. He said, key rings before wedding rings. Key rings before wedding rings, right? So for those of you out there who are engaged or dating, what you want to do is you want to buy a multifamily separately, each, then come together. You do not want to go in on a single family home together. Oh, we just want to buy our house together. It's so romantic. When you buy that single family home together and you are both on the mortgage, guess what? That $300,000 mortgage is going to show up on both of your credit scores, credit reports as $300,000 in debt. So it's going to look like you and your significant other have $600,000 worth of debt. Okay. It's going to look like you have $600,000 worth of debt when you actually don't. So what you want to do is you want to each buy a multifamily separately first, then get married. If you do it the American dream way, you're going to cut your wealth in half. If you do it the way that I'm teaching you, you're going to double your wealth. It's that simple, family. But some of you are so caught up in the American dream program that you're going to do what you do anyways and think that you're going to be able to get around it, and you're going to slow your own process. Okay. So that was a major gem for you. Okay. Single moms, I told you, we got Robin and we got Nikki. Okay. You need to invest from a distance. Like I did. That property in Oakland, I never set foot in that property in Oakland. I knew the neighbors, I knew the neighborhood, I knew the numbers, and I had an agent on the ground. I've never set foot in that property in Oakland, California. I forgot to tell you that. Okay. So yes, I'm going to teach you how to invest from a distance. If you are in a expensive market that you live in and you work in, but you want to invest in a smaller, non-sexy, less expensive market, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Okay. So Dante lives in Oakland, actually invested in his hometown of New Orleans, closed in 34 days. Spencer lives in Texas, closed in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. The Powell family, they also live in Oakland, Closed on in a duplex in Detroit. Jason lives in San Antonio, Texas, closed on a duplex in New Orleans. Jetro went to University of Gainesville, Florida, so he bought there even though he doesn't live there anymore. Tyler and Olivia closed on a fourplex in New Orleans. And Elaine and Aaron, they firefighter family in Los Angeles, they closed on a duplex in Detroit. Okay. So look, y'all, I have tons more closings that I could share with you. I'm not going to go through them all. We've helped 433 people close to date. They're all documented. There's no other individual or institution in this country that has more documented success stories than the Black Real Estate Investor Group and the multifamily movement. Point blank, nobody. Okay. So I'm not going to walk you through all of them right now, but I just want you to know that this is real. And these are people closing on properties all over the country, in your city, in markets near you. And this is possible for you too. Okay. So with that, let me share with you a little bit about the program, and then I'm going to let you know how to join. Again, we are only looking for 50 people right now. There are over 600 people on this webinar at this moment in time. Okay. So I'm just letting you know how real it's about to get. So with that, here's the route to success. So the first thing that you get is the multifamily master plan. You have to download as much as I know about multifamily real estate into your head as quickly as possible. So if you remember Neo in the Matrix, when he got plugged into the chair, right? And he learned Kung Fu in like 2 seconds, that's what I'm trying to do with you with the multifamily master plan. I know some of you are like, oh, I don't want another course, this and that. Well, how else am I gonna get the information into you? We don't have computer chips yet. So I gotta translate and transfer the information to you. Okay. So that's the first step. Okay. But here's where the multifamily movement is different. The next thing that you get is we have a network of lenders. We have a network of lenders nationally. So you know that you are not getting in bed with a predatory lender. You know that you're getting a lender that I vetted, and that's going to give you the best terms. Okay. Then we have a network of certified agents that I've certified in multifamily real estate investing, who actually understand the 23 numbers, how to calculate cash on cash return, the 33 signs of gentrification, have built their real estate Rolodex, know how to find off-market deals. So in certain markets, in so many of our major markets, we have certified multifamily real estate agents, right, who will help guide you on that journey. So you know you are not just dealing with some novice agent. Your agent is probably your greatest team member besides me on this journey. Okay. And so that's really, really key. And then fourth, we have a technology called the Purchase to Pass Deal Analyzer, which I'll show you in just a second, where we actually share off-market deals with one another. All right. So let me walk you through the curriculum really quickly, and then I'll give you the link to join. So if you have your cards near you, you might want to go grab that right now. So here are the 5 modules. Okay. Module 1, finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. So in the finance it module, I'm going to show you the low money down programs and grants you can use to get started without a huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for? The quick credit fixes that you can use to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down. FHA loans debunked. Why you must shop for lenders first, and why you want to go as big as possible on your first property. Okay. As I said, there's many predatory lenders out there. This is Cendrika. Here's what she said. A couple of lenders tried the okie doke on me, specifically with leaving out prepaid costs and offering more money and lowering rate, but doubling all other fees. So this is a big gem for you all. The lowest interest rate does not mean the best loan. The lowest interest rate does not mean the best loan. It is deception. Okay. Some lenders will trick you into thinking they're giving you a lower interest rate, but they stack in all kinds of other fees up front to get their money up front. Right. So you have to be very careful, and you have to know how to compare lenders and how to make those lenders compete for your business. Okay. They can't survive without you. So it's actually you who has the power in that negotiation process. All right. Then the Find It module, how to find great deals in your backyard, the 33 signs of gentrification, how to use the internet, specific websites you need to do due diligence on a deal. Again, I'm not talking truly a Zillow or Redfin. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance, why asking price doesn't matter, right? And the people and tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. Then in the Finalize It module, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you the purchase to pass deal analyzer. I'm going to show you how to use it, and 23 numbers you need to know and where to find them, how to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes, the 4 most overlooked numbers, okay, how to never pay at or above asking price, and the 5 ways to exit a deal if something isn't adding up or it doesn't feel right, okay? Then once you have the property, fix it. The 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust in and on speed dial, how to vet that team, how to use your property inspection response to get the property price to come down, right? I was able to help Steven get a $35,000 price reduction on this duplex in New Orleans, right? Using the negotiation strategies that I taught him, right? First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you move in? And then fix it or nix it, what you should fix right away and what can wait until cash starts flowing. Then finally, in the 5th module, Fill It, you're a landlord now, how to avoid those 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without always being there, how to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need, who you need, and where to post, a free download of my simple lease agreement, and long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investments without always being there, and the top 20 markets to invest in, okay? So that is the curriculum step by step. Again, for my single family buyers, I told you there is a module in the special situation section just for you that will guide you through the options that you have to leverage equity that is in your single family home and or invest in a smaller, less expensive market from a distance, okay? So the total value of the multifamily master plan course by itself will be $2,499, all right? But in order to get access to this, we do this program a little bit different because we're not just here for the transfer of information. We're actually here for your transformation. How many of you have a book on your bookshelf that you intended to read to change some aspect of your life and you haven't even cracked it open? How many have a book on your bookshelf that you intended to read to change some aspect of your life, right? But you haven't even cracked it open, right? Guilty, right? We've all done that before. They call it shelf help, not self-help. They call it shelf help, right? And the issue with that is that a lot of people think that it's just about getting more information, more YouTube videos, more podcasts. You can go try to piece all this together on YouTube if you want to, right? But you still won't have the structure and the accountability that makes sure that you implement. We are not here for the transfer of information. We're actually here for your transformation. This is why we have so many results in this particular program. 433 people have closed on $150 million worth of real estate, right? That is graduation, is you getting to the closing table, right? So how we do this differently is that we don't just give you the information, right? You can have the information. But in order to get access to the information, you have to join the Black Real Estate Investors Group. This is the accountability structure that we wrap around the information, okay? The accountability and the structure that we wrap around the information. How many of you had a body goal in the past year? You wanted to lose weight, you want to get rid of your gut. How many had a body goal, but you still got your gut? How many had a body goal, you still got your gut? Right? So listen, there's all kinds of healthy recipes on Google, all kinds of free workouts on YouTube. So the information was there. That was not the issue. What was the issue? It was the structure and the accountability, right? The structure and the accountability that made sure that you implemented and integrated the information. So the Black Real Estate Investors Group is the accountability and the structure that makes sure that you go through the curriculum, that you execute, right? And that you make moves, right? So this is required. This is required. We do not just sell the course by itself, right? That's just more information. People log in 3 times and then they don't do anything because life gets busy. Life happens, we understand. But when you have an accountability structure like you did in college, right? You knew that a professor was showing up every Tuesday and Thursday. You knew that you had a test every other month, right? You showed up because there was structure and accountability, right? So this program is not just a course, right? In fact, only 20% of this program is only going to be on the computer. The other 40% will be on your phone, right? Building your real estate Rolodex with agents, wholesalers, etc., contractors. The other 40% will be in your shoes, right? And in your car and in properties, pounding the pavement. Real estate is a contact sport. You must be in contact with people and with properties. All right. So how do we hold you accountable every single week? When you join, here's how your weeks are going to unfold. Every week, you're going to get a brand new challenge. You're literally going to have to get up from your computer and go do something. Yes, you're going to have to get up from your computer. You're not going to find your deal just sitting at a computer. You have to get up, right? So you're going to have your financial house cleaning challenge. Then you're going to have your lender shopping challenge, your pre-approval challenge, your real estate agent challenge, your neighborhood knowledge challenge number 1, then your deal of day challenge number 1. Then you're going to go into your real estate team building challenge, and then you're going to do the new neighborhood challenge and the deal of day challenge over and over and over again until you close on your property. So every single week you have something to do, not just videos to watch and consume, but something to do. This is how you keep momentum. And then how do I hold you accountable? Every week. Yes, you heard me correct. Every week, we're going to have our weekly deal room calls on Sundays, right? In fact, our next one is this Sunday, and I'll be waiting for you at 8 p.m., okay? On those calls, one, you have to publicly report. You heard me correctly. Publicly report what you did over the past 7 days to move forward on your goals. We call it positive peer pressure. You already heard of negative peer pressure. You got a whole bunch of negative peer pressure in your life already. We call it positive peer pressure, okay? So you have to publicly announce what you did over the past 7 days. If you're not ready for that level of accountability, then this program is not for you, okay? We don't need slackers, right? We need people who are really committed to getting to this goal and making sure that they don't renew their lease, right? Then from there, we have hot seats. You can sign up to be in the hot seat, okay? And in the hot seat, that's where I will coach you. You want to go analyze a deal? I'll walk you through that deal. You want to compare 2 lenders? I'll compare the 2 lenders with you. You want advice on your real estate agent? I'll give you advice on your real estate agent. You want to learn how to, you want me to guide you through your single family strategy and how to use the equity? I'll guide you through that. So this is where you can actually tap into me and I will coach you live, okay? Now, I am coaching you live, but the entire family is listening in. So this is the closest you can get to one-on-one coaching, right? But the entire family is listening in. And when you're not being coached, you'll be listening in and seeing how I coach other people through problems that you're going to face in the future. Okay. So these are our weekly deal room calls. And if you miss them for whatever reason, they are recorded for you. Okay. Then you're all going to get the purchase or pass deal analyzer. You're going to get the purchase or pass deal analyzer. A lot of people are asking for can I get a copy of that earlier? No, we do not give this away for free. This is priceless, family. Okay. This is the financial model that I've used to evaluate all of my deals. All right. And so I'm going to teach you how to use it step by step, all 23 numbers, so that you can get to a point where you're able to analyze deals in 10 minutes and make your offers quickly. Just like Wisdom did on the ATM machine, this is what you're going to be able to do. Okay. You got to be able to move quick. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. Lawrence, somebody said that they can't hear me. Can you hear me, Lawrence? Somebody said that they can't hear me. Y'all can't hear me anymore? Chanel can hear me. Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. All right. Cool. Thank you. All right. Everybody here also. Oh, no, excuse me. Not everybody here. Those of you who join will be getting the multifamily movement real estate investor workbook. Okay. This is the 64 page of literally your real estate Bible that will be side by side with you throughout this entire journey. This thing gonna be bent up by the time that you're done. You'll be using it as you watch the videos, right? And you'll be taking it out into the field with you and going into properties, you checking off the boxes on the hidden value and hidden costs, etc. So this will be your real estate Bible, and you'll be keeping this with you in your backpack, your car, your purse, your briefcase, whatever it is. This will be with you throughout this entire journey until you close. There's also the 100-point checklist so that you make sure that you never miss a step in this process. It is all here laid out for you so that you don't miss anything in this process. So all the members will be getting the multifamily movement real estate investor workbook. Okay. And I got something very special, but this is only for those who pay in full because it's coming up really soon. For those who pay in full, you will get a free ticket to Generational Wealth Conference happening on MLK weekend in Atlanta. This is our annual conference where we come together as a community and we go over all of our wealth building strategies beyond just real estate. Okay. Dr. Watkins will be there. In fact, this is the speaker lineup. You see, we got Dr. Watkins, Hatchett, we got the Hartzog family, Ash Cash, Justin Fields, Justin Burns, Marquell Russell, Cherian Levy, right? We have an amazing lineup of folks. Saritri Wilson, Nicole Purvey. We got an amazing lineup of people coming and giving you all the wealth game in Atlanta on MLK weekend. And so this is only a special bonus for those who pay in full, okay? If you pay on the subscription plan, we cannot give you a free ticket. We can give you a discounted ticket, but not a free ticket, okay? So that's a bonus for those who decide to pay in full, okay? So when you add all that together, everything that we're offering is worth $5,497. So answer me this. Would it be worth $5,497 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. Would it be worth $4,597 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or your single family home mortgage forever? It's a no-brainer, right? Now, would it be worth $5,497 if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? Let's say it didn't take you 3 months. Let's say it didn't take you 6 months. Let's say it took you a year. A year from now, you are in your multifamily home. Would it still be worth it? Okay. Now, would it be worth $5,497 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the deal analyzer, right? You never made a mistake. Because if you make a mistake on this first deal, it's literally going to set you back for 5 to 10 years. You can end up going through bankruptcy, foreclosure. And once that shows up on your credit report, you got to sit on the sidelines until it comes off. Okay. So good. So here's option number one. Option number one feels free, but it's going to cost you the most time, money, and mistakes. And that's you do nothing, right? You just paid rent last week, right? And rent is going to be due until you do something different. Did you hear me on that? Rent is going to be due until you do something different. The government's not coming to save you. The government, the CDC is not canceling rent anymore, okay? And even when they did, guess what? Most of my tenants were Section 8 anyway, so I got paid by the government anyways, in case you were wondering, all right? Nobody's coming to save you. Rent is going to keep going up, and it's not going anywhere until you do something different, okay? So earlier, Wisdom, perfect name, right? Wisdom took advantage of the opportunity to get the ATM machine, right? I said, would you give up or go get the money? And Wisdom said, I'm going to get the money. And Wisdom was first, right? I told you there are only 50 spots right now. As we move towards 500 closings, we're looking for the next group of 50 people who are going to help to get to 500, which would be $500 million of real estate that we have acquired, okay? And so with that, I mean, not $500 million, that would be about $300,000, $300 million worth of real estate that we've acquired, all right? So listen, if you continue to pay rent, this is going to be the outcome. If your rent is $1,400 a month, 1 year from now, right, from today, you're going to be another $17,000 in the hole. 5 years from now, that's negative $84,000 in the hole. So what's going to be better? To find a way to get rid of this housing expense, right, which is expensive, or to do something that is expensive, right? You have to understand the difference between expensive and expansive. Expensive is when money leaves you and never comes back. Expansive is when you invest in yourself and that money starts to multiply, okay? So for those of you who are ready, again, only 50 spots. Lawrence and the support team will be keeping count and let me know. We may end up closing it before the webinar is over. So for those of you who are ready, you can join right now at theblackreigroup.com, theblackreigroup.com. I put the link in chat, and it is a one-time payment of $2,499. One time. That's it. Lifetime access. Okay. When you do that, you save $1,089 when you do the full pay. And you also get the free ticket to Generational Wealth Conference, which is about a month from now in Atlanta. That will be included for full pays only. Okay. So click that link. Let me know if it's working. And Lawrence and Chanel, please keep count. When you join, when you get to the confirmation page, you join, please come back and let us know so we can send you some love. Okay, it's working. Chanel says she's counting. Okay, cool. Okay, we gotta close it. We gotta close it at 50 because we want to focus on that particular group. Okay. We only want to bring in a certain number of people at a time so that we make sure we can give them the support that they need to succeed. Okay. Now, I know some of you may not have that right now. You just paid rent. Again, the easiest way to change the financial trajectory of your life is to get rid of rent. You just paid rent. You're like, Julian, I ain't got that. I just paid that in rent. Okay. We're trying to help you not pay rent again. Right. But it's going to take some time because we have to educate you first. Then you have to take action. All right. So for those of you who need it, we have a payment plan. And that payment plan is $499 a month for 6 months only. When you do that, you save $594. So when you do the one pay, okay, when you do the one pay, you save $1,089. So that's going to be your best option. But if you need a payment plan, right, you can do $499 a month for just 6 months. Once you paid it off, it's all yours. Okay, it's all yours. So these aren't some subscription plans that just go on forever and we hope you forget. No, that's not how we operate. Once you paid it off, it is done. And you have lifetime access to the course. Okay. And for those of you who like, Julian, even that's a stretch for me, we got one more option for you. When you go to the page, you can actually start and join us right now for just $299 a month for 12 months. Okay. This is the most expensive package. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's still expensive. And if that's what you need to join this community right now, then that option is available to you. Gaynell, welcome to the family. Happy to have you. Melody, we're looking forward to having you, Melody. All right. So we have $2,499 one pay. You get access to everything immediately, and you get the free ticket to Generational Wealth Conference coming up in January on MLK weekend in Atlanta. All right. Then we have $499 a month for 6 months, and then we have $299 a month for 12 months. All right. Yes, if you would like to pay off the balance early, you can. If you know you're going to get a lump sum from a tax refund or from a bonus check at work, you can. We'll give you 60 days to pay off the balance in full, and you'll still be able to save. Okay. We'll give you 60 days to pay off the balance in full and still save. All right. Okay. So when you go over to the page, you'll see either the one pay, right, or the 6 pay or the 12 pay. So again, that is theblackreigroup.com, theblackreigroup.com. I'm going to answer questions in just a second, family. Okay. Now we have some bonuses for you. First bonus is the Fuel It module. This will show you exactly how I scaled up from property 1 to property 10. Literally step by step, why I sold this duplex and how I upgraded it to a 4-plex and avoided the tax implications, right? How I took this money from this expensive city and took it to a smaller, less expensive market, how I even found that smaller, less expensive market, et cetera. I'm going to show you how I scaled up my portfolio. Okay. And so for those of you who are like, Julian, is this even possible? I want to show you something crazy, family. Julius acquired 17 doors. 17 doors, family. Fast forward in a few days, my wife will turn 40 years old, and we've closed on 8 real estate deals worth $2.65 million. Actually, we closed on 2 deals so far in August, making it a special birthday present to her. And guess what? Me and my wife are not U.S. citizens yet, but we're really grateful to announce that we closed on 6 unit multifamilies today. It's such an honor that we now provide decent and affordable housing to 17 American families. We have non-American families performing at a higher level than Americans and providing housing to Americans. How crazy is that? Okay, so this is the power. Then we have Jimmy. Jimmy, 21 doors. Thank you, Julian Gordon. Our goal was 50 doors, and we're halfway there in 1.4 years, controlling over $1.9 million of real estate. Didn't need an MBA to get to the next million. Okay, 21 doors. Okay, so I know that if these are two of our greatest performing students, if they can do this in less than a year and a half, that you can get your first property in a year. Okay. Then we have REI Tax Secrets. This will show you how I saved all that money in taxes on this property. Literally, I'm going to save $278,000 in taxes on a $300,000 property. Okay. You cannot do that with a single family home, but with multifamily, you can using the tax code. So it's not tax evasion, that's illegal. This is tax avoidance using the tax code in our favor, okay? Then we have my Airbnb Overnight Success course. Some of your units will be better as Airbnb, and we can actually accelerate your growth. I built a 6-figure Airbnb business. I'm gonna show you how. April, she bought this 4-plex in Virginia Beach, Virginia. She Airbnb'd all 3 other units, and she used that cash flow to buy another property, and guess what? She retired early, family. Rachel retired after 2 purchases. She joined November 23rd, 2019, retired early on March 31st of this year, 2022. Please accept this email as my formal resignation from material process engineer as effective as after 2 weeks. After careful consideration, I made a decision to retire early and work for myself off of 2 properties, family. Okay. So this is what this information is doing in people's lives, right? You also get the purchase pass deal analyzer online version. Welcome, Katina. Welcome, Duramas already. Now, welcome Decker to the family. Happy to have you. Welcome, Wakila Warfield. Welcome, William, to the family. Happy to have you. Okay. You'll get the purchase of past deal analyzer online, lifetime access to that. Here's where we will share off-market deals together with the family. Camille said, shout out to Daffy for sending me a sweet deal in our market this morning and helping me run the numbers on it. There's truly strength in numbers of community. Stay blessed, everyone. Welcome, Kevin. Welcome, Sean. Brenda, email support at theblackbusinessschool.com, and we will take care of you if you're having issues signing in. Sean, we see you. This is also where you'll be able to connect with other members in the market. You'll get their contact information. These are the beautiful people in Orlando, Florida. And you'll also be able to tap into the real estate Rolodex that the members of that market have already put together. So you aren't starting from scratch, okay? You are not starting from scratch. We have market meetups happening all over the country. I told you this is a movement in real life, okay? It's not just some online course. These are market Lewis, Baton Rouge, the Bay Area, Atlanta, Dallas, New Jersey, and Newark. These are happening all over the country where our members get together on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. Community and this accountability structure. This is not just a course. This is an accountability community, okay? Then finally, you also get Kathleen Johnson's credit mastery course, right? So we know that your credit score, it can be important if you decide not to use NACA, right? And so we want to get that credit score up as high as possible so we can get your interest rate as low as possible. And Kathleen Johnson's credit mastery course will help you with that. We're also going to give you, since we're in the business of acquiring businesses now, you're not buying a home, you're buying a business. We're also going to give you the business acquisition program from Ace Chapman, so that once you buy this business called real estate, you can also now you understand how to buy other businesses still using the same methodology, cash on cash return. I need to invest this much into it. Then it's supposed to kick out this every single month. And that creates the passive income that you desire. And we're also giving you the introduction, The Power of Money by Dr. Boyce Watkins, so that you understand what this currency is. Remember, I told you that cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. You cannot get free by saving money, right? So some of you are looking at your bank accounts right now and like, oh, well, I need to save this money. Saving money at a 0.03% interest rate is not going to get you to freedom, okay? You have to invest it in information, in yourself, and knowledge that's actually going to allow you to multiply money at higher rates of return, okay? Our target rate of return in multifamily real estate investing is 12% at minimum. Even the stock market is only producing about 4 to 5%, okay? So we are in the business of multiplying money. Many of you are doing a great job at working hard for money. Where you're doing a poor job is at making money work hard for you, okay? So when you put all those things together, right, everything that we're offering you is worth $9,734 if you were to buy these things separately. But again, you can join right now for a one-time pay of $2,499 or a 6-pay of $499 per month or a 12-pay of $299 per month, okay? So you don't know where to start, we're giving you the multifamily master plan A to Z program, right? You feel alone on this journey. We're giving you not only, we're giving you our market meetups, plus our weekly deal room calls. You don't feel that good at math. You didn't do well at math in school. All the equations are baked into the purchase past deal analyzer for you. You need help with your money beyond real estate investing. That's what the Generational Wealth Conference is for. And for those of you who do the full pay, you'll get that bonus ticket. Generational Wealth Conference. Everybody else, you'll get a discounted ticket to the Generational Wealth Conference happening in January. Okay. And then you've already bought a single family home. That's where I give you the fuel module to show you how to use that equity to scale up. Do I need an LLC? No, you do not. FHA, NACA, and VA do not finance LLCs, but I will show you how to set up your accounting to take advantage of all the tax benefits of having multifamily real estate. Okay. Then you are in a expensive market. That's where the Airbnb overnight success course will come in. And then finally, you need to improve your credit score. That's where Castley Johnson's credit mastery program will come in. All right. Who do I need to give shout outs to? Charles, Arthur, Katina, Amina, Duramis. Yes, 2023 is going to be a big, big year, family. Good. Kevin, welcome to the family. Happy to have you all. All right. So at the Black Business School, we have a 30-day money back guarantee. We have a 30-day money back guarantee. All right. So it costs you very little. There's no risk to you to just get it started, to come to a few weekly doing calls, to get access to the first few modules. The full pays get access to the entire course right away, okay? But the subscription plans, you only get access to the first 3 modules, and the rest of your modules get dripped to you as your payments come in, okay? But look, with the 30-day money-back guarantee, you have the opportunity to, look, say, I'm going to go try it out. I'm going to see if they're really for real. I'm going to sit in on one of those weekly deal room calls. I'm going to go through the first few modules and see if this is legitimate. That's there for you with the Black Business School, okay? We don't want it to be any risk to you, okay? We know that once you get to the closing room, that's where your true return on investment is going to come from. But just to get started, there's basically no risk to you. You have 30 days to come in and get your feet wet. We want you to go ahead first because we know you don't want to pay rent anymore. And if you don't have a better plan or strategy to get rent off of the books for you, then the Multifamily Master Plan and the Black Real Estate Investor Group is the way. Okay. So I got one last bonus for y'all. Y'all ready? I got one last bonus for y'all. Y'all want to know what it is? This is gonna blow your minds. You ready? Ganelle said, hit us with it. Y'all ready? You get to bring a buddy into the program with you for free. For those of you who join before midnight, you get to bring a buddy into the program with you for free. That could be a best friend, which is spouse or homie, blood, which is siblings, parents, or kid, or a business partner who you're going to invest with, but you got to join before midnight. Okay. You're basically getting another $2,499 pass handed right over to you. Okay. Why do we do this at the Black Business School? Because we know that you're going to have a greater chance of succeeding when you have somebody else in your city near you who's also on the same path. Why? Because we study accountability, right? And we know that people are better when they have other people who are with them, who are holding them accountable. Yes, we're going to do everything from the top down to do our best to hold you accountable from a distance. But when we add in another layer of somebody else who's also on this journey with you, guess what? That increases the level of accountability that you have. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. And so we're giving you permission to bring somebody on this journey with you. All right. So for those of you who join before midnight, that is there for you. That is there for you. You will use the same login with them. And if we see too many logins from different IP addresses, you know, Netflix started cracking down on that, right? We see too many logins from different IP addresses, there's going to be an issue and you're going to get booted from the program. Okay. But we can see that from the back end. All right. So you get to bring a buddy into the program with you for free. All right. Cool. So there is a price of procrastination right now. The buddy pass is not meant to be used to, I see some people being creative in chat. The buddy pass is not meant to find somebody in chat right now. That's not what the buddy pass is meant for. It's meant for somebody who's already in your life. I appreciate the creativity, but it's for somebody who's in your life. I said best friend, which is spouse or homie, best friend, blood, which is siblings, parents, or kids, and our business partner, somebody you're going to invest with. That is who the buddy pass is for. These are the categories. All right. So listen, no, the buddy does not get a ticket to the convention. There's only one ticket that comes with it, but they can buy a discounted one. Okay. So there is a price of procrastination right now. Keisha, welcome to the family. I see you. It's $299 per month for 12 months, $499 per month for 6 months, or $2,497 one pay. With the one pay, you get access to everything immediately, and you get the free ticket to Generational Wealth Conference coming up in January on MLK weekend in Atlanta. And after this enrollment period, or once we hit 50 people, the price will jump back up to $4,997. Okay. So you have a limited time. You have until Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to join. Either two things are going to happen. One, we're going to get 50 people, right? Or Sunday at 8 p.m., the program enrollment period will close. Okay. So within 48 hours, enrollment will close. Why? Because we have our weekly deal room coming up. So those are your options. If you come back tomorrow and the page is down, it's because we reached 50 people, right? So those are your options. It's all there laid out for you. Here are the links again, the blackreigroup.com. Listen, y'all, you were just one deal away. This was my first deal in Brooklyn, New York. It literally changed the financial trajectory of my life. And what's going to happen for you is once you get that one deal and you collect that first rent check, you're going to want to get another one and another one and another one. It's going to be like a domino effect. And this is how my wealth got built over the past decade. And so we're literally trying to help you get that first one to make sure that you buy it right so that you are set up to continue to scale your portfolio up and up and up. Imagine this, y'all. Imagine this. Imagine that you just bought one property every single year for the rest of your life. Just pause real quick. Imagine that you just bought one fourplex every year for the rest of your life. Or if you think that's still too aggressive, what if you just buy one fourplex every 2 years for the rest of your life? Imagine what kind of generational wealth, regenerational wealth you will leave if you just did that every 2 years, okay? This is the process that we're engaging in, right? We're playing the long-term game. We offer those get-rich-quick schemes. Real estate is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a get-rich guaranteed system over time. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a get-rich guaranteed system over time, right? And you've known it because guess what? Most of y'all are paying rent, so you know it works. You've been paying rent, so you know it works, okay? So again, everything that we're sharing with you is worth $9,734. You can get it for a fraction of that tonight. We're going to keep enrollment open until we get to 50 people or for the next 48 hours. So please take advantage of it. And we're here and now. This is everything that you can get. You can start for as low as $2.99 per month. You have 30-day money back guarantee. So hurry before rents rise too high for you to save and prices rise too high for you to buy. And we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Almost all of y'all are still here after 2.5 hours. That says a lot about you. That says a lot about your commitment, right? You could be doing anything else right now, but you are right here. And so we want to celebrate you just for that. And as a result, like I said, everybody who's here right now will be getting the ebook emailed to them. In it will be the list of 147 down payment assistance programs. So keep an eye out on your email over the next few days for that to come. We will send out the replay as well. We saw some people asking for the replay. We know when you want to bring your buddy into the program, your buddy may not have been able to be here. Your significant other may not have been here. So we'll send out the replay for you. And with that, we want to pause and take any questions that you have. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. Thank you, family. Lawrence and Dr. Watkins are going to be here to moderate the questions. We're here for you, and we would love to see you at Generational Wealth Conference too. So you want to get in right now so you don't miss that. So thank you, everybody.
Now tell me, did y'all know why this is one of the baddest dudes in the game right here? Julian Gordon, man, you are such a beast, and I have so much respect for you. And I think that you are extraordinary in light of conversations we've had just even recently about, committing to Black institution building. You went to UCLA and
Yes,
it
sir.
was Stanford for graduate school, right? Right. So
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah. So UCLA and Stanford, there's plenty of places Julian can be besides right here with Black people. I mean, there's a million places he can be. It ain't like Julian's
Not
here
my
because.
heart.
Yeah, man. It's not like Julian's here because that nobody else wanted him. I'm sure everybody wants him. I'm sure they still want him now. But Julian sees value in you. He sees that the gold is buried right in our backyard. The gold is in the melanin. That's the melanin's more valuable than gold. So
Yeah.
that's why I rock with him till the wheels fall off. And I just think what you do is so extraordinary. And so let's jump into some of these questions here.
Yes,
Put your questions in the Q&A section so we can grab them a little easier. And Julian, I'm gonna just throw the questions to you. You're the Dean of Real Estate, so you're the primary answerer. I will just pass the ball. And if there's something I need to answer, I'll intervene. For the most part, this is all yours.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's see here. So let's see. Ellen says, I purchased the multifamily master plan in full a few years ago and have not completed the modules. Ready to get serious. Will I still be able to take advantage of steps 2 through 4?
Yeah, just have her email support@thefreedomschool.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there a payment plan? Yes, there is. We talked about that.
Yep.
Let's see here. Okay, so let's see. I see Tracy has a question about Prime and access from Prime. Yeah, this program, Tracy, is not something we can include in Prime because this is a partner program. Julian is an equity owner in this program, so we can't add that to Prime. We could try to go make a deal, get a discount, but we can't add that to the Prime program. So those are two separate programs. But anything that's officially within the Black Business School, just email support@theblackbusinessschool.com, and you will be able to get access to quite a bit of things. So they'll do everything they can to make you happy. Let's see here. Tracy says, although I have a mortgage, I don't pay rent to a landlord. Would this program be beneficial to me? I ask because it sounds like this program is for first-time home buyers who are still renting. I currently own 2 properties looking to purchase for my first multifamily. What do you think, Julie?
No, so we're gonna look at how much equity she has, and we're either gonna use a HELOC or a refinance or a sell in order to take that equity and actually buy multifamily. Why? Because 4 doors is gonna create more cash flow than 1 door. So Tracy, that's something where you would hop in the hot seat, you would give me your numbers, we would analyze it, we'll look at your market and say, look, we can take this $100,000 in equity, we can go buy $400,000 worth of multifamily real estate, and this is the cash flow that it will generate for you, as opposed to the cash flow that you're getting right now in just a single family. So yes, those are the kind of things that we discuss in the hot seat, and I'll coach you through those things, and we'll go through the numbers.
Okay. How do we find real estate agents to work with? Asked Joe. Joe says he or she is more introverted.
Yes. So Joe, this is a people's game. So yeah, I'm going to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone, but we do have the real estate Rolodex. Every market has their own real estate Rolodex that they've developed where they share the top agents. And then in certain markets, we have certified multifamily real estate agents who have been trained by me, who understand the entire methodology. So the best real estate agents are going to be at your fingertips the moment that you join.
Okay, now let's see. Val's asking how the program compares to the multifamily course through the Freedom School. And from what I understand, and Julian, I'll let you add to this if she like, is that we specifically made sure we added in some elements specifically uniquely from the Black Business School because this is offered specifically to the Black Business School students. Julian, did you want to finish up on that?
That's accurate. So the only difference is the business acquisition program and the introduction to the power of money. Those are really the only differences. Yeah, that's really the only differences.
Yeah, so I threw in some of my courses. Also, with this particular program, you can email support@theblackbusinessschool.com if you have any support issues, and if there's something that needs to be added to supplement your learning from our Black Business School catalog, we'll be happy to do that for you. So just let the team know when you email the support team that you're already a member of this program, and we can make sure you get everything you need. Let's see. Anita says, okay, well, Anita's asking Chanel a question. So Chanel, I'll let Chanel answer that one, or Micah. Patricia says, I'm a 73-year-old woman who would like to create this generational wealth for my children. I'm retired, buying my home, and I have no interest in moving into a rental property that I may acquire. I have access to funds to make the down payments without relying on my rent payments. Is this program for someone like me?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to have her partner with any of her grandchildren or any younger people in her family, bring them in as a buddy, and then she can actually heirs anyway, so she can actually incentivize them and say, y'all want to inherit this stuff, well, you're gonna have to go through this education process so that the baton is passed correctly. So that's how you make sure that all this work that you've done over the past 73 years doesn't go to waste in the next generation, by making somebody from the next generation go through the program with you, and you are able to gift them the down payment for their first property. And now you know that somebody in the family has this information and can successfully be a steward of your trust when you transition.
Okay, will having a bankruptcy for 2014 hinder your success in the program?
It's going to take 24 months for your bankruptcy to go away before you can get financed again. But you can come learn the game, be part of the community, so that the moment that it drops off, that we can actually go make moves.
Okay.
He said 2014 though, right? Did he say 2014, boys?
Yeah, 2014.
That should have dropped off by now. That should have dropped off. Yeah.
Let's see. I already joined and paid in full. How can I take advantage of the free buddy?
So you're going to share login with them. You're going to share login with them. And again, we're able to monitor on the back end how many IP addresses are using that login, but you'll be sharing that login with them. And then you can email support at support@theblackbusinessschool.com, the email address of your buddy, and that will get your buddy on the email list as well. So all those instructions, I believe, are in orientation.
Okay. Does this work for 1099 consultants?
Yes, as long as the income is consistent. So there's nothing wrong with being self-employed. It's just really about the consistency of the income, and is it enough to buy real estate in your market? But beyond that, there's nothing really different about being 1099.
Okay. Does the course include how to take the equity in your home to purchase your first multifamily home?
Yes. And remember, I told you type 625 earlier. One of those 6 strategies is actually using the equity that is in your home.
Okay. Have you ever had a bad tenant? If so, how did you handle it?
Yes, I've had a bad tenant, but how many tenants have I had? Maybe over the life of my portfolio, I may have had 100 tenants. I've only had 2 bad tenants. And you just have to know the eviction laws. And yeah, I've had to evict people before. It's just that simple. So you got to know the laws, the timelines, and the processes for your market. I typically don't operate in tenant-friendly cities where it's hard to evict people. In New Orleans, eviction can happen within 15 to 30 days. Then on top of that, we collect vacancy rate. So every month we set aside 5% of rents for issues like that may occur, so that we know that the mortgage is still paid. So yeah, it's just part of the process.
Okay. Do I have to own my own business at least 2 years to get a loan to buy a multifamily home?
It all depends on how much income you're making, the consistency of that income, and every lender has their own guidelines. So there's not a hard universal 2-year timeline. It all depends, but we make sure that you're doing filing your taxes, and then also paying yourself a salary out of your business. So now you have your personal income and your business income. As long as you own 100% of the business, then they'll be able to take both into account during underwriting.
Okay. Well, I'm going to step out and let Lawrence kind of pop in and take over. Lawrence is my brother, in case y'all don't know. If I don't get a chance to say goodbye to you, I want to say thank you, Julian. And it's an honor to always work with you on anything. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. And we'll be reaching out to you again very, very soon. And the URL is right there on the screen in case you don't see it. It's theblackreigroup.com. So take care, everybody. But I'll still be listening. But let's show continue. Take care.
All right. Good night, Earth. Hey, everyone. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So I'm not sure where Boyce left off at, but Derek asked, does the course go over maintenance of the property and tax processing tips as a property owner?
Yep. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. There's a property. Once you actually acquire your property, there's a property management module that will be released. And from there, it'll teach you how to manage the property. Remember, we set aside 15% of rents every single month for maintenance. So this makes sure that you keep your property up to date over the life of the property.
Does the course begin this Sunday?
Yes, it does.
Which payment plan gets the free ticket to the conference in January?
The one pay, the $2,499 one pay.
All right. So Faye, I see that you submitted a question. Yes, I would say contact support. We also have support in the chat here tonight as well. So please find her name. I'm gonna put your name in our group chat, just so someone can also find you and reach out to you in regards to the issue that you're having right now.
People are asking about property management. Property managers typically take anywhere from 6 to 10% of rents. So if your rents are $4,000, a property manager might cost you $240 to $400 per month. So property managers take away, yeah. So for my properties that are from a distance, like in Oakland, in New Orleans, in New York, I have property managers who manage all of that, and that makes it 100% passive. So yes, property management is an option, and we include that in our analysis of the deal. Does this property work with property management being 6 to 10%? Shelly, welcome to the family. We see you.
Yes, thank you, Shelly. Can I start this while living out the country right now? Excuse me, living out the country right now?
Yeah, come get in the game. We've had people, especially vets overseas, who've still been able to close here. It's just going to really require you to find a agent on the ground that you trust. Even though you're operating from a distance, you find boots on the ground who you can trust. Remember, I've never set foot in my property in Oakland, right? I knew the numbers, I knew the neighborhood, and I had an agent that I trusted. So that's going to be the key to that individual succeeding.
All right. So Brenda, I saw your question in regards to the login. I forward that info to support. You can also reach out to support at theblackbusinessworld.com. That's support at theblackbusinessworld.com if you're still having challenges after today's call. My understanding was that those who chose installments would have 60 days to pay in full at 2499 and still save. Is that correct?
Yeah. So yes. So, but if you want that generational wealth conference ticket, you have to pay in full before generational wealth conference.
Right.
And that's January 15th and 16th.
Okay. Jawaru wants to know, do you protect your properties under one S Corp, C Corp, or LLC by state, or do you have each individual property under an entity? Or use another method.
Yeah. So there's different strategies. I definitely wouldn't put them all under one. So you might group a $200,000 property, a $300,000 property, and a $300,000 property in one. Then you might have $1 million property by itself. So you're trying to break up your liabilities. So yeah, and so.
Uh-oh. All right. Did I freeze too, everyone? Or okay, got it. So of course, Julian's our expert, so I'll go through and look for questions that I can answer in regards to the actual offer. Let's see. When will this be offered again if we can't join by Sunday? The answer to that question is we don't know or no. So this is actually the first time that we've had this particular offer via webinar in about 1 year or so. So who knows, the next time we'll actually have this particular offer again. Some of you may have picked up an offer at like the All Black National Convention or something like that. But the answer is we don't know when the next time we're going to offer this particular program. All right.
My goodness.
You there, brother?
I'm here, man.
All right. Yeah, it's all good. I'm not sure if this question was answered. How do you deal with tenant issues for your long distance investments? Broken toilet, closet door.
Property management. Again, 6 to 10% of rents, and somebody just takes care of that, and they might send you the invoice for the plumber, and you pay the plumber online via Zelle or whatnot. But yeah, property management is from a distance.
Ayana wants to know, would you recommend a single family with a configuration to be multifamily, i.e. basement, apartment?
Very much so. But typically, you won't be able to get a stove down there. Typically, you won't be able to get a stove unless you get a permit or rezone. So you might be able to only function that as an Airbnb.
Okay. I see some people stating that we didn't answer their question yet. Definitely apologize for that. We have about 85 open questions, and we're trying to get through as many of them as we possibly can. But so your question may not be answered tonight, but we're going to do our best to answer as many questions as possible.
Yeah.
I am I guess I'm an overnight truck driver and may not be able to join all the meetings. Would I be able to join the program?
Yeah. Like I said, the recordings will be up the following day, and you'll be able to listen to them as you drive.
I own some land. Do you recommend doing a new build multifamily complex on it?
Yeah, yeah, there are ways to do that. It depends on where the land is and what the cost to build is going to be and what rent you're going to be able to command. So just because you got the land doesn't mean it, but sometimes we can use that land as down payment for the new construction, and there are some one-time closed construction loans that you can get. So it all depends on the market, what the rents are going to be and what the cost of the build is going to be. So it's all a numbers game. So I can't say yes or no. It's all a numbers game.
Blair wants to know, how does the lessons in the program relate to Canadian laws?
I don't. Right now, we are focused on U.S. We don't know the programs that are available in Canada.
Anita, I see your question from earlier. I'm gonna put this in the chat so they can actually see it. If you are still here, so give me 1 second. All right, cool. Someone wants to know, can you buy the bonuses separately? I'm about to close on my first multifamily in a few days, and I want to check that it's going to bring me the 12% cash flow.
Can you buy the purchase of past deal analyzer separately? No, we don't sell that separately, fortunately. Okay. And it's probably too late to pull out of that deal now. So we're gonna pray that the numbers work.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason y'all want to make sure you, like, if you're buying a business, and you should know that in advance. And so we hope that this deal works for that individual. But we want to know for certain that the deal is going to work. All right. But we're excited that you were in the game and that you had the courage to go after it. But buying right, it's not just about buying real estate, it's about making sure that we buy right, family.
Do you mentor those who go through NACA to purchase a multifamily home, but not your program?
NACA does not teach you how to buy a multifamily home. NACA will finance you, but financing is the easiest part. The hardest part is finding the deal. That's where the multifamily master plan comes in. Okay, so NACA does not teach what I teach. NACA will help you get financed, right? But it does not teach all of these strategies in terms of the negotiation, the finding the deal, tenant management, things of that nature.
Do you have a real estate group in St. Louis?
Yeah, we have market meetups all over the country, just about every market now.
Someone wants to know, I purchased the course, but I need to delay my start. Is there a later starting date other than this Sunday?
Yeah, so we meet every Sunday. So just email support at the blackbusinessschool.com and say, give us a heads up in terms of like when you intend to like really fully commit. But the fact that you're in the cohort, that's perfectly fine.
Someone asked, where is support? So we have a couple support individuals monitoring the chat and Q&A, but the easiest way to reach out to them is support at theblackbusinessschool.com. That's support at theblackbusinessschool.com. Brenda, I believe I've already included your name in our group chat, but if not, let me do it one more time. Oh, yes, I did. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, Chanel said Brenda has been emailed. We answered that question before. Can I buy now and start later? I'm in school and have a lot
Yes.
going on.
Yes, yes.
Has the price been set for attendance to the January conference?
There's a discounted ticket. I think it's 50% off for members who did not get the free ticket by doing the full pay. I think it's $297.
All right. Will the installment members get the information about the conference as well? So it's an
Yes.
installment pay. Okay, got it. So
Yeah,
it's not a free
but,
ticket. It sounds like it's a 50% off ticket. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Solomon, finally got to your question. What do you think about the subject to buying strategy?
We do not teach that in this particular program.
Okay.
There are more wholesaling programs for that. This is a different play, family.
This is a good break. Hi, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm an investor in a 40-unit complex in Birmingham, closed last month. Do you think it is a good idea for me to get my real estate license, or is it a waste of time?
It depends on your goal. If you're already investing and that's your goal, most real estate agents want to become investors. You're already an investor. So unless you want to make some extra money and you want to show houses, then there's no real need.
Will this recording be available later?
Yeah, we should be sending out the replay tomorrow.
Let's see. Does NACA only finance first-time buyers?
Yes.
Will you be giving this program again at a later time for someone who can't afford any options at the moment?
Once we've gotten these 50 people to close, probably, but the price it won't be the same price. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've offered it in about a year. Is that right, Julian?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct. So you want to take advantage of it now?
What are the requirements for you to get approved for the loan?
The lender is going to give you a list of documents, proof of income, tax returns, bank statements, run your credit, etc. They're going to ask for a list of things that they need from you, and then within 72 hours, they should be able to give you a pre-approval letter. And then if you accept their loan estimate, then you go on to underwriting.
All right. So I'm gonna see quite a few repeats. Let's see. Is there a discount if we're already enrolled in the Black Business School? So this is the discounted rate in terms of the special offer that you received tonight. So there's no, excuse me, there's no discount on the discount, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're almost 3 hours in. We'll take, how many more questions you want to take, Julian? They've slowed down a little
more.
bit. 5 more?
Just
okay.
5 more.
Okay. So how much of my profit goes to repairs, and how are complaints dealt with from tenants? Is there a program included for property management?
Yeah, I told them about the property management module once you actually close. So we don't want to give that to you when you don't need it yet. So there's that. We set aside 10% for CapEx and 5% for repairs. So repairs are like sink leaks, hole in the wall, window crack, things of that nature. CapEx is foundation, roof, plumbing, electrical, or HVAC.
Crystal wants to know, please let me know if I've answered or if I've asked any of these questions or voice asked these questions. Can you use a Section 8 voucher to buy a multifamily? Uh-oh.
I've heard it's possible, but I've never done it before. I'll be honest, I haven't helped somebody do it yet.
This is program show you how to. Does this program show you how to find finances needed to make renovations to get the property ready to lease?
Yes. We teach you all what strategic renovations you should be doing, because the goal is not to make every property look like HGTV. Based on the market and the kind of customer or renter you're trying to attract, we teach you how to do strategic renovations that are going to increase your property value or increase the rents. That's it. Those are the only kind of renovations that we do.
Someone asks, my daughter has a huge student loan debt over 200K. She rents and has a yearly income of 90K. Can she benefit from this program?
Depends on what her payment arrangement is with the government. Typically, they take one.
Yeah. Okay.
They're going to take $2,000 a month as her as her payment. No, actually it's 0.5% now. So they'll add $1,000 to her DTI, her debt to income ratio, and then she's making 90. So that's what 7.5 a month. It all depends on her debt to income ratio and any other debts that she has. I don't know all of her numbers, so I can't say. But her student loans are rather high, but her income is also decent. It also depends on what market she's in and what multifamilies cost in that market. So I can't give you an exact yes or no.
Shout out to Mary Lewis Jean, Patricia Patterson, and Alicia for joining the mastermind. Thank you, and we look forward to having you part of the community. This will be the last question, and then we'll close it out. How to volunteer for the hot seat to assess our current landscape and devise a success plan as we grow through the program?
Yeah, instructions to do that are all in orientation on how to sign up for the hot seat. And that's it. You'll be on the list, and I'll call you up on Sunday. That's simple.
Yeah, so that's it on our end. Tomorrow, we answered your question, I believe, a little earlier about the S Corp, C Corp, LLC. So we will send out the recording so you can watch the recording to get the answer to that particular question. Final notes and thoughts from me. Card is open until when Sundays or Julian Sunday night?
Sunday at 8 p.m. Yeah, right before.
Actually,
orientation at 7. Orientation at 7. So they need to get in before 7 o'clock so they can get to orientation. That's if we haven't filled up.
Got it. This is one of our most popular programs within the Black Business School, and one that often gets the highest marks from its students, and the community that Julian is building in this movement is nothing short of amazing. So highly recommend that each and every one of you all decide to join and get in here in terms of learning how to get this multifamily property. So on that note, from my end, I'll let you close it out, Julian.
Yeah, so listen, y'all, I am the #1 conductor on the Above Ground Railroad. There's literally nobody who has helped free more people through multifamily real estate than myself in this country. I know that I can help you get to your destination faster, safer, and easier. We have to increase your streams of passive income. With every apartment door that we acquire, we do that. And then while also doing that, we're also getting rid of your biggest expense in life, which is our housing expense. If we just do that one thing, which is get rid of your housing expense for the rest of your life, the financial trajectory of your life will transform and change. And so that's what we're focusing on, this one single power move, which is to acquire your first multifamily home. And so with that, I actually want to give some shout outs to, oh my goodness. I want to give some shout outs to Gaynell, Wakila, Katina, Kevin, William, Charles, Regina, John, Melody, Hoki, Shirley, Renisha, Amina, Sean, Bryant, Arthur, Tina, Catherine, Duramas, Richard, Barry, Averill, Clarice, Yolanda, Lisa, Latanya, Anthony, T. Williams, Keisha, LaShawn, Danny, Derek, Lakeisha, Derek, Quetra, Alberta, Juliet, Teresa, Jessica, Shelly, Nicholas, Handel, Alicia, Ayana, Antoinette, Patricia, and Roma. Oh my goodness. That's absolutely amazing. I think that puts in the 40s. So for those, make sure that you get it. Once we reach 50, we're going to close enrollment and we're just going to focus on those 50 people right now. Okay. All right, family. Appreciate you all. Okay. Much love, and I'll see you all on Sunday. Peace.
All right, thanks, everybody.